Hi everybody, this is Bryce Rankins, and you are listening to episode 28 of Sneaky Geek. And then we roll some music.
There's 28.
This is 28.
28. This is
28?
episode
28? Good job, guys.
Yeah. Anyways.
So hi everybody,
Whole
I'm
episode.
Bryce Rankins, and this is Bryan Romero.
Yeah, that's me.
Your
And
podcast is as old as Spunky.
wow, he's so young.
Is he?
He's 28.
Who's
Our
Spunky?
podcast is only 2 years old though, so episodes. If
podcast
episodes were
years.
years, that would mean they were consistently put out.
Oh.
I mean,
Or consistently. Anyway, today we are talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge,
Da-da-da.
Yeah, we are.
which
Da-da-da.
just opened at Disneyland in
So
California.
now we can talk about it.
And now we can talk about it because two people here were actually aware of what was going on like 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So jealous for those early previews.
It was,
Wish.
honestly, it's never going to be the way that we saw it ever
That-
again.
yeah.
And I'm so grateful.
I'm very happy.
How
Because
crowded was it? It probably was empty.
It was
Wow.
not crowded
Yeah.
at all.
Oh my
it was
God.
amazing.
So the way they did the previews.
Before you talk. real
Okay,
quick,
yeah.
this is
No,
Glynnes.
we're getting way too excited.
Glynnes,
Way too
say
fast.
hello.
Oh, hi. It's me, Glynnes. I own the comic book store in Fullerton called the Comic Book Hideout.
Oh, good.
That's me.
And Alex.
I'm Alex.
She's real pretty.
Thank you. You just like my hair. We're hair color buddies.
We are. We got to keep our mermaid crew together.
That's right.
That's
Or
right.
unicorns. I don't know. Are you're going
I go
for
with
like a
mermaid,
unicorn outfit though?
but we could switch it. Switch it up.
I'm a mermaid kind of gal too, but you know, there's that comedian that started shitting on girls that wanted to be mermaids, and then I felt really bad about my childhood, and I was just like, man,
Sweet.
What it just
why you gotta yuck
dream?
someone else's yum, man? We can like mermaids. That's okay.
Yeah,
It's totally fine.
it's totally cool.
Right?
I'm with you.
I mean, you and me,
Clearly.
we're already in the
Clearly.
club.
That's
so.
right. I got your back.
It's only funny because it's a podcast, so you can't see how beautiful her hair is.
That's
It's
fair.
got
Oh, yeah. So this is a
This is a
podcast.
podcast.
And Alex has really beautiful hair.
Thank you.
And it's kind of a rainbow ombre thing
Yeah.
happening
Just
over
think
here.
of mermaid, and that's my hair.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 4-color hair. I'm 1-color or 2-color hair.
It's,
got
it's ombre,
Yeah.
2 colors.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about Galaxy's Edge, and they're both
Star
here.
Wars.
We know Alex from WonderCon. We stopped her
Was it WonderCon?
aggressively
Or was
to
it-
say, hey, your Stevani cosplay's fantastic.
Was it that? Was it not LA Comic Con? It was WonderCon?
I think it was one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't go to LA
because we didn't go to LA Con yet.
It was WonderCon.
My bad. In my brain, we totally
The
met
cons
from
start
LA
to
Comic
blend
Con.
Yeah,
together.
the con they really do.
They
yeah.
all blend. Absolutely.
We met at Long Beach? Or WonderCon?
We met at Bakersfield Comic Con, and
Oh,
then the first time we talked to you was WonderCon. Because we don't go to Long
Yeah.
Beach Comic Con.
Good, 'cause it sucks now. It used to be good, though.
It used to be
We
great.
could have a whole conversation about that.
But you know what?
The
I
jet-
keep going
the
back.
train
I'm
wreck
like, is
that
it gonna be
Long
better
Beach.
That's another
now?
podcast.
It's
gonna be
not.
better?
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's not. Because the last 3 times I went and I was just like,
But I just went to Comic Con Revolution in Ontario.
Oh, we missed that.
California, not Canada. And it was put on by the same people as Long Beach.
yes.
They
so
kind of
that's,
Well, how was that?
That's the good one.
It was great.
It's their
Actually,
3rd year or 4th?
I think it's 4th. This is my first. I actually had a booth for the first time in Cosplay Corner,
Rad.
so I didn't really get to explore the convention
Mm-hmm.
much. But overall, it felt fine until it rained Sunday and there was like no one there.
Oh, that's
And it was a
Oh,
Game of Thrones finale, so of course no one was going to show up to a
Oh,
Comic Con. It was
yeah.
raining and you had Game of Thrones.
Yeah, people are
It
like,
was
no.
dead.
We were at a wedding.
We were at a wedding.
Ah, see, everyone was busy.
I was on my honeymoon.
Yeah, you were.
I was very busy.
Yeah.
Wait, the Long Beach, can we just talk about that more, or we gotta start?
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
we
Real
can go.
quick.
We can do
We can
whatever we
go.
want.
So all the cool kids that used to do Long Beach that now do Ontario are awesome, and we would have done that show if I wasn't in Hawaii. And
I mean, Hawaii
I hate when that
outbreaks.
happens.
Yeah.
Ontario, just a little bit.
you know, Ontario, Maui, the people that are doing Long Beach now, I don't know who they are,
I don't know who they are
Oh.
either.
but they're terrible.
It's awful.
Heard that from a lot of people.
It's such a bummer too, because that used to be such a great show.
And it just, everyone knows now, so nobody goes, and so when
The
few
last
people that do
times-
go, just it's empty.
The
There's
last
no
time I
photographers,
vended,
no
it was
vendors.
real sad. I remember being on my roller skates, a little bit drunk, being super loud and
As we do.
just like, why doesn't this show do better.
Pretty sure that was WonderCon. No, you were happy about WonderCon.
I was definitely happy at WonderCon. We had a great
WonderCon
time.
was fun.
We had such an
always
awesome
great.
after party. We have so much fun with that.
Oh yeah,
That was
party.
That was great. And I got to hang out with you, silly dudes.
Speaking of cool places to be, Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge over at Disneyland. How's that? Because I haven't gone.
It's honestly,
It was pretty freaking rad.
it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
I literally,
Breathtaking.
I got there and was like, it took my breath away.
The
Yeah.
day the media embargo, if you will, was lifted, and pictures started showing up online, and I saw Bryan and our other roommate Clay, who's also on the podcast sometimes, standing in front of the Falcon. I don't know that I've ever had such a microsecond of just visceral hatred for Bryan before, but it was there, and I was just like, oh my god, it's real. Oh my god, okay, we're good.
Honestly,
I chose not to go. It's fine. I made a good decision. Bryan got to go.
Brian did get to go, and that's.
You
why
guys
we
went separately
talked
though.
about
You
it.
didn't go together.
No, I got to go because my dad is the project manager of all of the HVAC, all of the heating and cooling systems for the whole land.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think.
Now that it's open,
I think-
I
No,
think it's part of
what he
stuff.
does and stuff, I wasn't sure.
He's a
yes,
project manager for Siemens Building Corp. They do heating and cooling systems.
Cool.
So he does stuff like big, like the
That's
Staples
important
Center and
things,
John
yeah.
Wayne
Yeah.
Airport
Yeah.
and huge,
I like to
huge
be
stuff
cool in
like
those
that.
places.
And the reason why you're not sweating your balls off in the line for the Millennium Falcon is because my dad. So
You're welcome.
Thank you.
thanks, Al Pruitt. Good job. It was really wonderful. We got to we had to put our phones in a little
little
baggie
plastic
and,
bag.
about
all
that.
Yeah.
so we didn't take any pictures, but it was so amazing to see.
I was kind of okay that we couldn't take pictures. 'Cause
Oh, I
it,
was
it allowed
totally
me just to
into
be there
Yeah.
and not be I want to take this for the gram and.
Oh
shit
yeah,
like
no,
that.
no. I was just—it's very immersive. It's super cool.
Mhm.
The
Absolutely.
costumes that they have the staff in.
All the cast members are in
awesome.
character.
Yeah, they have character bit lines that they're supposed to say, and they can people can only refer to the Millennium Falcon as a hunk of junk, and certain little things.
Little
like
things
that.
here and there, yeah. My roommate had a shirt that said something I was the one that stole whatever from Jabba and
There's a particular line that Boba Fett says that the shirt references that, and it says I am the Carillion smuggler who stole goods, etc., to the T of the words. And
one of the
shirt
girls
has
in line who works there, one of the cast members was why would you announce that to the world? I shouldn't even be talking to you right now. He's like, what?
Yeah, it was really.
And and it took me a second to let it click. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. He showed up at the spaceport with me, and she's like, you should probably just stay away. I'm like, I really should, but I'm stuck here in this line trying to get this Ronto wrap. That sounds delicious. And it was so good.
Dude, the food was great. Yeah, I had the vegan, whatever Mediterranean type of hummusy thing. And it was bomb.
Yeah.
It was really good. I was surprised. And I wasn't, didn't lose 3 digits. Figures trying to pay for it.
Oh,
It
it's
was
half of
only.
one.
Did you eat there?
I did not eat at that stand. I went at Launch Base 7.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The bigger
The
restaurant.
inside.
That's where I was. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
yeah. And I had the
I don't know
vegetarian
the names.
one too, and it was bizarre. It was really good,
Yeah.
but honestly, being a vegetarian, it was too much like meat. Meat
It is
texture.
like meat.
Oh.
Yeah.
It
It's kind of
actually
like a
threw me
falafel.
off.
Oh, yeah.
I took a bite, and me and my dad and my boyfriend all ordered what came in the same plate, and I took a bite, and I was like, oh my god, did I eat one of your food? This is weird.
Yeah.
And my dad took a bite and goes, no, that's definitely fake. That doesn't taste like real meat. But
Yeah. It
I
has-
haven't eaten that in a long time, so I didn't know. But it was delicious.
Yeah.
It was
freaked you out a
so
little bit.
realistic to someone who doesn't eat meat. It did freak me out.
Right on. Yeah, so we had dessert from in there.
Did you have the milk, the drinks, the blue milk and the green milk?
Yes,
Yes.
I had the blue
Of
milk.
course. How could you go to
and
Galaxy's Edge and
and
not try
have
the
it.
milk?
Yeah. Did you like it?
I didn't try it.
Oh.
I went to Galaxy's and didn't try the milk. I don't know.
We tried both of them.
Yeah.
I didn't
what'd you
have the
think?
green one. How was the green
Apparently,
one?
a lot of people didn't care for the green one.
I see. I was okay with the blue.
I loved the green one. I'm a floral person though, and it kind of had citrus and
Oh.
floral notes.
Oh, that
And
sounds
I
good.
thought it was fine. I did think the blue one was better.
What is it made of?
It's a coconut milk
Coconut
base
and rice.
and rice milk.
Yeah.
And then it had this green one was supposed to be citrus, and then the blue one was supposed to be more like dragon fruit,
Creamy,
something
yeah.
more fruity. But the consistency was so weird because it wasn't like
It was.
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't
kind of
crunchy.
thick.
It was soft.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, soft.
like a milkshake.
It was
but
hard to
not-
describe. Because it
Like
was
a melted
ice,
milkshake?
It really was like
Like a melted milkshake.
but not. Because
But
it was still ice, but it was
Yeah.
soft ice. It wasn't like crunchy, hard ice.
How strange.
It was
Yeah.
so strange,
Weird.
but it was
Soft
good.
ice. I don't know that I like that.
And it was a little cup.
I don't know
It
how
was
I
smaller
feel
than
about
I
that.
Yeah.
expected for $8. But we're at Disneyland. We all understand the price we pay.
Yeah.
For $8, it was small, but it was so rich that you
Yeah.
really didn't want more than that.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I got done with my cup. I'm like, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I'm like, this is okay. It was also a colder day, so like it was kind of odd. But I think on a warm day, hot day, it'd be good. But we got done. We're like, okay, that was like a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel like the portions were good at the restaurant as well.
Mhm.
I felt like I wasn't
Yeah.
unsatisfied and I wasn't like too full or feeling wasteful. Because
Yeah,
I hate
right.
wasting, like throwing food away.
Definitely.
But-
Right,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we tried
But
the
it was-
dessert.
Oh,
We tried the
did you
dessert.
like? Did you
Yeah.
We
like?
tried the raspberry
So I got the raspberry one,
poi
and then
pois.
some
I'm trying to remember
poi-
all the funny
Yeah.
names.
It was weird. It was a
I
weird
cannot
name
remember
too.
the
Yeah.
names at all.
Yeah, so I got the raspberry one, and then the roommate got the chocolate one, and we like split both of them, cause and they were really good.
The raspberry one was delicious.
Yeah, it was in the chocolate one, cause I'm more of a chocolate fan usually, and I dug it, but I'm like, no, this raspberry one's like really good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you enter this park, first of all, where is it?
So it's in the back towards
It's
Critter
behind
Country
Thunder.
and behind, yeah. So it's kind of like behind Thunder Mountain, but also the way they brought us in was next to Haunted Mansion and Splash. And then
You
make
went
a
that way
right.
too?
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people. There's 3 entrances. There's
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
it
it's
3? I
huge.
thought it
It's
was
a
only 2.
huge area. There's 3. Where we went into is you go up by Splash Mountain and you enter
Yeah.
right next to the Hungry Bear restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right up. It's kind of the long way.
Okay.
You kind of go through a lot of scenery before you get to the main focal point
Which
of
was
the
kind of cool.
land.
That's
The
where they held us
scenery
before
was
they let us in.
fantastic,
Yeah.
though.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then there's
So there is like a
one-
transitional, because
yeah,
that's
oh,
one of
yeah.
the best parts about Disneyland is
Oh,
that
yeah.
you don't ever see anybody with the costume from Frontierland and
Another
Adventureland.
land.
The tile on the floor changes.
Uh-huh.
The rocks change, the foliage changes, everything
The
changes.
sounds.
So there's a full like
Oh, there's-
corridor
yes.
to get
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It
That's
was a
incredible.
full. There was
It's
a lot of
great
trees.
build-up.
Yeah.
A build-up. Like, it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
leads you up to
So
it.
So when we went in for the cast preview, we had to go to Launch Bay and get our wristbands,
Mhm.
and then
Launch
So did
Bay, Launch Bay, by the way, is it's in Tomorrowland.
It's in Tomorrowland.
Yes.
And everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna turn Tomorrowland into Star Wars Land."
no, they're not.
They did,
For a while.
For a
but
li-
it's
yeah.
not Star
But it's
Wars
not-
Land. It's
yeah.
just where all the other Star Wars stuff is.
Things,
Like Star Tours is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Hyperspace,
Hyperspace
Mountain,
Mountain.
is
They
now
changed it
It's
back.
Star
still
Wars
Hyperspace
thing.
Mountain.
Yeah.
And the Launch Bay is a giant museum and art gallery
Mhm.
and whatever
For all the Star Wars.
to get everyone excited about
Yeah.
Star Wars Land.
Yeah, I've never been into Launch Bay, and I
It's
finally
great.
had to ask. Like, where the is Launch Bay? You're always talking about Launch Bay.
Yeah.
And our roommate was like, "Do you remember the House of Tomorrow?" And I'm
Yep.
like, "They got rid of the House of Tomorrow?"
Long time ago.
Because you were the
doesn't
only
stand
one that remembered
anymore.
it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it hasn't
Stable.
been for
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the last time you went, it was half Marvel, half Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, that was before Marvel. Well, the last time I went looking in there,
Yeah.
it still had a piano that played itself.
Oh, okay.
It was the House
Yeah,
of
that's
Tomorrow.
right. Yeah,
Every time I go to
Marvel was upstairs
Tomorrowland,
and that
everyone
stuff
says,
is
"Let's
down.
go to Space Mountain. Let's go to Star Tours. Let's leave." And I'm like,
There is no upstairs anymore.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
ground level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Kinda
think
weird.
they're doing other
some
stuff.
of
with
Oh,
it.
exclusive merch is available right there, right now.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't buy any Galaxy's Edge stuff in Galaxy's Edge
Right,
because
'cause
they can't
it's-
brand it.
yeah.
You have to buy it in the launch bay.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So Galaxy's
'Cause
Edge
everything's
is so
immersive.
immersive. You're there. You can't buy Galaxy's
Because you're on the
Edge
planet.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that
Launch
same
Bay.
idea,
Uh-huh.
when you go there, they have 2 things that are like the things you have to get from Star Wars Land. First is the Build-A-Bear version of R2-D2
Droids.
and
The droid
a
center.
"They
BB-8.
built a droid."
So
Yep.
they have Build-A-Droid,
That's sick.
and it's essentially just like colored pieces and different
You
things.
pick
of
your
it.
body, pick your leg,
Yeah.
pick your
Pick its personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So it's super cute. They're $100 starting costs.
Mhm.
So, yeah, $107.
Yeah, for the very, very basic. It's like, what is it, 170?
107.
Yeah,
107.
107.
107.
So the other thing is build your own lightsabers.
Yeah.
But because it's immersive, they don't say, here's the lightsaber store.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
There's-
contraband in Galaxy's
Yeah,
Edge.
yeah.
Not
it's
legal.
contraband. Yeah,
So you can't ask, where do I go to build the lightsabers? They're
Yeah.
like, we don't do that here.
It
That's
was-
illegal.
That's
it was
illegal.
so
They won't
cute.
tell you where it is.
That's amazing.
But if you find
They have-
somebody, they'll be like, "But I heard you might find some metal scraps."
Yes.
A junkyard.
Junkyard around the corner over here.
So there's
Mind your
Wink,
own.
wink.
There's 2 little girls like at a kiosk, right? And it's just like a little, like, it looks like a tool shed or a tool
Yeah.
tool bench carrier thingy, and they talk about, oh, you two look like you're interested in some scraps. You're looking for any metal scraps? And of course my dad, like super gullible, just like, what do you mean metal scraps? Let me see them. And so she opens up a little drawer, and I immediately, oh, those are fucking lightsaber parts.
Yeah.
But I play along with it. I'm like, okay, so show me your wares, you know. And they have like little drawers, and each one is like a certain type that's like a theme, and the theme, they each have names.
There's like 4
all the
themes.
theme names.
I did not build the lightsaber.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It was too much.
They're so expensive, but they're gonna make so much money.
Oh, they already have.
It's
it was booked. It was fully booked.
Yeah.
Well,
because you get to pick all of your pieces. So you get to pick your crystal.
It's whole immersive.
Your color,
and
your
there's a little
crystal
storyline that goes with it.
Yeah.
And it's immersive because
yeah,
the guy who is leading the building, he's a Jedi trainer. Like he's teaching you like a Jedi would teach a Padawan to build their own lightsaber.
Which word on the street is they got that from the Clone Wars.
All First Order timeline.
First Order post last.
So it's supposed to be current.
So it's the in-between phase.
It's in between. Yeah.
Whatever movie is out will follow what the timeline is in the
So
era.
right now it's Rey and Kylo. So in the land there is the Millennium Falcon, the full-size Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
So you turn and you look and it's like
Right there. Yeah.
it's I told you, it took my breath away.
Yeah.
It was breathtaking.
Yeah.
So then you turn.
Did you cry?
So here's the
Brian totally cried. My dad cried.
I was more excited for the X-Wing.
Yeah.
So
Is
when
there
you
an
walk
X-Wing?
in, we haven't because we're Super 8
Critter
bouncing
Country.
around. Yeah,
Through
through Critter
Country.
Country.
Critter Country, okay.
You walk in and there's
Through
like
the country.
life-size.
No. Yes.
Yes. Country Bear Dreamers, no more.
There's a life-size X-Wing, and I was like, holy crap, that's an X-Wing.
Dude, so not
And then there's
only,
a new A-Wing in there too from the new movie.
So there's an X-Wing, there's an A-Wing, there's a Millennium Falcon,
Yeah.
there's Kylo's ship.
It's not. It's a,
not Kylo's
It's
ship.
not his ship?
It's a influencer or
It's
something like
the
that.
influence. It's the one. It's the battleship he drives. It's not his one. You know the ship where the wings like fold up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
first
that
movie,
one,
it's
but
not that one.
But he does
It's
it
his more
right.
fighter. It's
Yeah.
his
It's more of a little
version
fighter.
of a TIE fighter.
Of the
Yeah.
di- of
it's not
Darth's-
the round
Kind of-
center TIE
yeah,
fighter.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's there too. Which
But
is awesome.
what's also there, if you look, is Anakin's pod racer
Yes.
Yeah.
and the pod racers that are in the pod race. From,
And the land speeder from A New Hope.
and the land
Last
speeder from
podcast,
New
and I
Hope.
haven't blinked in like 40 seconds.
Yeah, and
Han Solo's or the speeder that Han Solo stole in Solo in the beginning of the movies.
The blue
also
one.
there, the blue one.
Yeah.
It's a mini like
It's a little
skipper.
tiny
Along
one.
with
Yeah.
the Ford Falcon background.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that one. So with all those other vehicles, you walk in and it's like the X-Wing and A-Wing. I'm like, because I grew up playing like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and like the old school games, and, like Rogue Squadron, so I'm like all about it. And then you walk in and there's a bunch of like vendors, little tiny shops, and then you turn the corner, there's the Falcon. I'm like, oh cool, there's the Falcon, right on, sweet.
What? You have to go through so much
man.
before you get to the Falcon. You made it seem like it's around the corner.
it was not around the corner.
You
There's
have
a
to
lot.
Go through you have to go through
The market
market.
The market, those are all the
place
little, yeah.
So is the market from Solo? Is that what I'm
No,
remembering?
it's
that from?
just-
Is it just
Because this is Batu. It's a never before seen planet, so it's not from any movie.
This is never
It's
before seen.
never.
planet.
It's
It is, however,
it's
from a book.
New.
Yeah.
Yes.
The comic book.
No, before that.
Yes, but
Oh yeah.
it was originally premiered in
Thrawn Alliances.
Thrawn Alliances, which released last year at Comic-Con.
I did
Thrawn?
not
Yeah.
mind Thrawn.
That guy.
Yeah. Thrawn's the man. Yeah. So in the book,
We like Thrawn.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Thrawn's
we love
really
Thrawn.
cool.
Yeah, he's old school expanded universe Legends. The original.
Consistent canon for the Legends universe before Disney bought it out and cut everything starts with
The Thrawn
trilogy.
In came out in 91.
Timothy Zahn wrote it. And then when they retconned and said none of that happened, Timothy Zahn wrote the new Thrawn books as well.
And he's
then-
like, yeah. But Thrawn was tight, so we're gonna keep him.
Yeah. And then they brought Thrawn in on Rebels, the TV
Yeah,
show,
he was on Rebels
which
for 2
I
seasons.
lost my mind.
Yeah, it was super
Yeah.
cool. And the guy who reads Thrawn Alliances, which is Mark Thompson, does a fantastic Thrawn voice, which
Yeah.
makes that audiobook really pleasing to listen to. Makes drives very, very relaxing.
Yeah. So
Anyway, so this planet Batu was in Thrawn Alliances.
So
So
and
they've
there's
been building
a
this up for a minute.
marketplace, and it's kind of based off Morocco's little bazaars that they have
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
it
so it's
definitely
very
looks
similar.
like that.
And
I couldn't remember if something similar was like that in Solo. I saw Solo in the theaters, but I haven't rewatched it since it came out. So
I don't think so.
I thought that there was like in the race scene where they're trying to get out of that place.
Oh,
It's more of just a city, but it's not like that at all.
Okay.
It kind of feels tight and a little claustrophobic in that kind of way, like you're in a really small marketplace.
Yeah, because you're
the
right
design
there.
of the marketplace is aesthetically
it's so
gorgeous.
awesome,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. All of the
Super
hanging
detailed.
stuff, the super like vaulted ceilings, but with all of the decoration.
Yeah.
The big ass engine that you go around.
Yeah, near
Which
the
cooks the
hot dog
food?
Which
restaurant.
cooks the
Yeah.
food, yeah.
The Ronto wraps, like the best thing I've ever had at Disneyland.
That's what people were saying.
Yeah, the food beats the shit out of everything.
It's basically a hot link wrapped in like tri-tip with coleslaw wrapped in pita bread.
What?
You are not going to eat that.
I will not
Yeah,
eat
you're
that.
right.
No.
But apparently they have a vegetarian option.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I
they
would
have them
be
there
down
too.
for,
But they
so.
serve breakfast at that place too. But we went at like 12 o'clock, so they're past breakfast. But like it was so good, and they have 3 mixed drinks, non-alcoholic, and those are really good too. I had
the
the
juices.
sour sarlacc, which was good. Had a weird little kick to it, and there was like the Tatooine Sunset.
Yeah.
I think it's called. That was
Nice.
pretty good too. Yeah.
With 2 big ice cubes in it?
Yeah. But yeah, that little marketplace bazaar. There's 5 or 6 little stores.
Yeah, there's the
And each one
animal
has something
store,
different, yeah.
the clothing store, the like traditional touristy store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so fun.
Each little vendor of merch had something completely different than the one next to it.
Yeah, which I like.
And you can
because-
only find it at that spot,
Yeah.
which was really awesome.
Does
But
each
I
vendor
think-
have a person?
Yep.
Yeah.
Neat.
A couple of people
Dude,
too.
can we just talk about the outfits real quick?
Yes,
because
please.
The outfits are freaking rad.
So we were,
and
yeah.
I was talking to a staff person today,
Yeah.
and she said that they got to pick.
Yeah, you
They
can
gotta
they
pick
could
their
tell. They
outfits.
can like mix and match.
Yeah.
Like, some of them looked more Rogue One-ish. Some looked
Yeah.
more First Order-y.
Some have like
Some
little
look little
hoods.
Jedi-ish.
Yeah.
Some look
Yeah.
like more
That's
Jedi.
super
Yeah.
So cool.
It's so cool. It's honestly the best costuming that I've
Oh,
seen
by far.
at any amusement park.
Yeah.
It's really neat. And the character actors that they have playing Rey and Chewie
Rey looks
and
so much better
Yeah.
than she did at Launch Bay.
Oh,
they-
God. See, they weren't
look
around.
really great.
They weren't around when I went. But
they
the
were
cast
all there
members
and
obviously
super
were.
in character and having a ton of fun.
Mhm.
Like, oh my god, please give me money to play make believe all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Star Wars.
But
Like,
no, so they had us in the wrangling station before they let us in. They only let 3,000 of us in, or they gave
Only
us there's-
3,000.
Yeah, but obviously not everybody
I think
showed
there
up,
was
sort
even
of
less
thing.
than-
And so that's the
than
thing.
that
So
when
not
we
everybody
were
showed up. So our group was probably 500-600.
Did
Yeah.
you still have
But
your
they
4-hour
staggered us.
windows?
Yeah, so they
You did?
staggered us.
Okay, I didn't know if they
We
still
had
did
a
that.
4-hour window, but there were so little people there. Like we could have stayed all day.
Oh, we could have stayed as long as we
but
wanted.
we, jammed out. We had a
I'm
park carpet
so
pass and we had to stay there
jealous.
forever.
Oh my
so.
god.
Yeah. But it was so empty in there, and it was really nice. There wasn't a huge crowd, and
I had
it
a
just-
totally different experience from you
Oh,
guys
man.
then.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it
and
was
actually
so
it got crowded.
nice.
It rained the day I went, and so when it started raining, everybody went inside the shops, and then it felt like it was crowded
Because everyone's
inside.
Spot.
Yeah,
And wet, and nobody wants to touch anybody.
Yeah.
But the marketplace is covered, right? It's made to look like it's open, but
yeah.
is
No,
it
the rain
covered?
still got through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your experience?
Yeah.
I went opening day.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
I went opening day.
Oh dang.
And my time slot was 8 p.m. to midnight. So
Oh, so you saw?
experienced it
Did you see
night.
everything?
Oh, I didn't get to see anything at night. We were only there during the day.
Yeah, same.
Did explosions happen over your head?
No, so it was great because I felt like I was more in Star Wars, to be honest. I
Yeah.
feel like during the day it would feel kind of like a Tatooine deserty vibe.
It does.
Yeah.
But at
It does.
night,
It does.
because everything was lit up, lights were
Yeah.
flashing,
Oh, that's
it
cool.
felt
I'm
more
so
imperial
Jelly.
and more technology-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also couldn't see everything because it was dark,
Yeah.
or at least
Yeah.
visually outside. Like I was trying to look for stuff.
The
Yeah.
details on
It was
everything is incredible.
gorgeous.
My dad it was so cool to go with him because he got to see it as it was being built.
Mhm.
And all the people that we went with were the people that were building it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And so it was really rad because
They were
we're
probably pointing
over-
out all these
yeah,
cool details.
And everyone only has one person with them. So
Yeah.
it's all of these cool designers and engineers and everything that are pointing out, oh, this is the part I did and this is, so I got to overhear
Oh,
people talking about
cool.
stuff and I, me, I talk to everybody. And so I made friends with a bunch of people and they were
Yeah.
telling me like,
Yeah.
the fleet of painters that they had come in that painted all the
God.
rocks. And I met the
Everything
guy who was
was
in
Oh,
charge of
so
all the
gorgeous.
super detailed.
Because it wasn't
that.
just painted, it was then aged
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
worn.
And textured and
Yeah,
Amazing.
it was really, really incredibly well done.
Yeah.
My dad said when we were in line for the Millennium Falcon ride, he was like, man, last time I was in here, there was like 45 people in here, and they were like banging on stuff over here and painting stuff over here, and this guy's was hanging this thing over there, and now look at it. It was just so cool.
No, it was
man.
great. But I felt like I had the last time slot of the day.
Mhm.
There were no stormtroopers.
Oh.
And I couldn't tell if it was because it was nighttime and they literally can't see out of their costume helmets.
Yeah.
And
Could be a thing, yeah.
and there was no Kylo Ren. The only people I saw were Rey and Chewie.
Oh,
But
wow.
I was
I still haven't seen
really
Chewie's
disappointed
great.
with no stormtroopers, to be
Oh,
honest.
they're-
I
see,
really
those are the
wanted
only
some
guys I
stormtroopers.
saw.
Minimal
Okay.
first order presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, the storm. Well, it's cool because over by Kylo's ship, that's not his favorite ship, is the little bad guy store.
Yeah.
And that's got all
The
the,
bad
The
guy
first
store.
order.
Yeah,
That's the
that's all
first
the first
order.
It's like the propaganda store?
occupied
Yeah, it's like a
It's
propaganda.
so good.
It's totally propaganda too,
Yeah.
and it's like
Did they
stormtrooper
play?
everything,
Did they
and
play
like
the video to join the Empire with the Imperial March?
They should have.
Slightly
No,
Yeah.
keyed differently, like they did in
That's
Rebels.
Old World. It's New World now.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's
that was
right. That
Rebels.
was the Imperial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're trying to like get you to recruit. So if you're there and you're chatting with them all in character, they're like,
Yeah.
you know, down with rebel scum.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
We've heard of rebels in this area. Have you seen any?
They went that way.
It's gonna be so great for kids. Like the whole
Yeah.
time I was thinking about all of these adult male like nerd
It was
boners
all
just
adults
going
when
on.
I was there. There was hardly any
But-
kids.
I was thinking about it afterwards and being like,
Yeah.
and because at first I'm a little bit biased in a capitalist view, and I was just like, oh my god, the money.
Yeah.
They're gonna make
We
so
all
much
have those
money.
thoughts.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna make so
I'm gonna be so broke.
much money.
Yeah.
It's insane. But then I was like, oh wait, happiness.
Yeah.
The happiness. And then I was thinking of all the little kids that are gonna come and
Yeah.
see Chewie and
We
see
saw-
Rey and see the Millennium Falcon and just like lose their little child minds.
Yeah, we saw
Just-
a few. So, because we did it, so we rode the ride twice.
I only got to ride it once.
I got rid of it once.
I was a
haven't ridden it
gunner.
at all.
Oh.
You were in for
Were
a
you?
treat.
Did you guys get to be the pilot?
So the first time we were engineers, and we kind of figured out how they were spreading the jobs out. And so the second time, we held back because they give out the pilots last.
No,
Oh, she
my
gave
pilot
them
was
out
Were they first?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Both times there was the same order, so we're like, oh, okay. Well, never mind then. So the second time we were
Foiled.
pilots.
You're trying to get a pilot.
Yeah.
Foiled.
You want to be the pilot, and you
Yes.
also don't
Right
want to
side.
let someone else that sucks be the pilot.
Yeah,
Right.
my dad.
We had
Sorry, Dad.
Called out.
Sorry, Dad. My dad and I were both gunners, so he did fine with button
Okay.
mashing.
Oh, yeah.
But the pilot action, oh my god, we had
Ugh.
two people and they just like could not get it, and the engineers in the back. Meanwhile, the
Going
engineers
nonstop.
in the back and my dad, those are all actual engineers.
Oh, really?
I couldn't figure out, what does the engineer do?
Okay,
No
so wait.
clue.
Let's break
Okay.
it. So breaking down the jobs.
You had an engineer. You can tell
Yes.
us. Thank you.
So as you're flying the Falcon, there's 6 positions. Yeah. So yeah.
Spoilers! You fly
Yeah.
the Falcon in the
Yeah.
Falcon rocket.
Yeah. So there's 2 pilots. One person goes. The left side goes left and right.
That was
Person
me.
on the right goes up and down. But they they pull the hyperdrive.
Which my dad did not do, and I had to reach over and help. him.
Oh, man.
I was like, it's blinking bright green.
Yeah. Pull the
Hyperdrive!
Yeah, so there's the 2 pilots, then behind them are the gunners,
Yeah.
and they shoot whatever comes up on the screen.
For your first time,
Yes.
go with manual.
I didn't even know
I
what
know
you were
you
talking
choose.
about.
Okay, so
Yeah.
as a gunner, it shows a little screen. Everything's like on your left or right hand side, right? Because
Uh-huh.
you're facing forward. So on the little screen, it says manual or automatic.
Oh.
I mean, manual or automatic. Always choose automatic for your first time, and do manual once you have a pilot that's not going to keep smashing you into the ground.
Does the gunner seat do the whole spin around thing?
It does not.
No.
None of the seats spin around.
Can I scream
but
out, I got one?
Yes.
Yes, you can do that.
Only if you get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only if you get one, and it's hard if your pilot sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the better pilot.
It's hard to fly, to be honest. When you can only go
Yeah.
up or down or left or right and you can't do
Instead of
everything,
both?
it's
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't mesh well with the person next to you.
Yeah, the 2 people meshed with each other at least enough to get married, but they could not fly the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
It was really bad.
So, speaking of smashing into things, the engineers,
are supposed to fix the
they're
ship,
supposed to
right?
fix it. So
Yeah.
there's different buttons that are up on the screen, and when they light up, you're supposed to hit them.
Yeah.
And that's how you, repair the Falcon. And so, my first time, I was going crazy because the person couldn't
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, it's just button
Okay.
C.
Yeah.
We definitely crashed at least twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kinda, like,
we
stalled
were
out.
we were like in a constant state of crash.
Okay.
It's just like, and the computer's like, "What are you doing?" It's like they don't know how to play their job.
Right. Yeah.
Who gave them this job?
So yeah, so that's kind of the basic thing, and you like Hondo's walking you through everything. Also, Hondo. So
The
we're going
animals
way
are
ADD, way
Gorgeous.
ADD. So starting off when you walk into the ride. So at first, like earlier, I'm like, oh, cool, that's the Falcon. As I got closer, I'm like, holy crap, that's
It's
the Falcon.
so
And like, so
detailed.
like the closer I got, the more it like hit me. And I'm like, just it's how detailed it is, and the engines will turn on. You'll hear it like go loud next to you, and
The steam landing.
the steam, yeah, that'll go.
Yeah.
So you walk through the
it's
queue,
so cool.
and it like takes you up and around the Falcon on the outside, and then you go into like
Like a workroom.
workroom engineering bay kind of thing, and there's like a hydro spanner there, and it smells like a workroom. I don't know if that's
It
just left
smells
over
like
from
oil or
construction, but
plastic.
yeah.
Okay.
It could be construction, but I like it.
I
So
like
they
the-
keep
yeah,
it.
Disney is
Yeah,
very
it
well
smells
known
like
for
hot
how it smells.
plastic,
Yeah.
but like not in a nasty way.
Not in a bad way. It smells like a
No.
new car kind of smell.
Yeah.
But
Disney
you're walking
pump
through
smells. That's
Oh, yeah.
one
They
of
do.
the best things about Disneyland
Yeah.
is that they care about all of your
that
senses.
fried
It's
chicken
supposed
smell
to be.
that follows me everywhere. I hate it, but I love it. So you're walking through. There's a pod racing engine that's in the middle that they're like working on, and that'll light up and make sounds every once in a while. And you walk
You
through.
hear them talking through the interview
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like recorded voices.
And
like
it's
they're
cute.
working.
It's very like
It's really
it's
cool.
comedic
It's
banter.
Yeah, Hondo's on the loudspeaker talking.
Chewie's like bashing on shit. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
The
So you're walking through there a little
animatronics.
more, and then there's a viewport where you can see the Falcon. It's a window called the viewport in Star Wars. I'm gonna go with it. So he wrote
Reverse, Go with it.
Yeah. So you can look out on top of the Falcon. And you're like, holy crap, that's cool.
It's really neat.
And then you walk in. And
Wasn't
and
it raining
go
when
around.
you walked past the Falcon?
Later, the second time. So the second time we walked through, and it got dark, and it was rainy, and like the mood was just perfect. The water was all over the Falcon. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
It honestly made me.
that's-
I
yeah.
felt bad that I wasn't in costume. Like
Oh, yeah.
I would encourage people to show up in cosplay
Mhm.
to hang out and just
Well,
if they'll let
just
you-
like
I
melt
have-
get away with
I
it.
have a concern.
Yeah.
Because there's a really strict costume policy at Disneyland.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That was disregarded for Galaxy's Edge. I saw
Oh.
full-grown women in white Leia dresses,
Oh wow.
but Disney's really hardcore about their costumes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually.
And I did not know how these people got in costumes, so I bounded as Rey. So I did my hair like Rey, and I wore like a brown dress and some
Oh, there you go.
eyes.
Yeah.
But I wasn't
But you weren't like
Full
in
on.
Rey's costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw full-grown adult in costume.
Can you, real quick, for those who don't know, define bounding?
Bounding is when you wear an outfit inspired by a character.
Right.
Because you're not allowed to wear costumes at Disneyland. It has to be just like a knockoff,
Yeah.
knockoff costume. So
Like
you
a
can't
nod.
Not.
Yeah.
You cannot. No one should be able to recognize you as being working there. That's the rule.
Right.
Is if you
Right.
look like you work there, you've done too much.
Yeah.
You have to look like a tourist
Two
version.
extra. Two
But I
extra.
mean, like,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I wish that I had worn like, you know,
Something.
something that
Mhm.
would have helped me to create the reality that I'm
Yeah.
in another galaxy.
I had a clone trooper shirt on. No one said anything to me. I was kind of bummed. Actually, no. I feel like people were like, "Oh, that's a cool Captain Rex shirt." I'm like, "Thank you."
I had a Comic Book Hideout shirt on because I
Ooh.
was like, oh, it's that crazy girl from Instagram.
Way to represent.
Anyway, back to your. So you came in, you were bounded, you had your hair up, you were explaining that.
Yeah. Oh, just the costuming in general. Like,
Yeah,
yes, be in world because you're on world. They're
Yeah.
really good about making you feel like you are on this
You're
planet.
there.
I
Yeah.
absolutely feel like that every time. Or
Yeah,
not every
it,
time.
all the
one
interactions
time.
that I had.
The 4 hours that I was there,
Yeah.
it was you were on planet. It was crazy. It was actually kind of hard to talk to people because they were so in.
There were two in character sometimes. And you're like, "But I just."
I want to know where the lightsabers are. Just tell me.
Yeah.
You said earlier that they can't refer to the Falcon as the Falcon.
She just didn't call it the Millennium Falcon. She called it
Oh, that
Hunka
hunk of
Junk
junk over
over
there.
and over again. And then
Okay.
she was calling it to the other people. I'm like, man, that bitch is gonna get tired of saying Hunka Junk.
Yeah.
It's not money. It's galactic credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of the chip readers worked. Because it's always you have to slide the card. You can't use your chip on
Yeah.
your credit card. And one of the attendees was like, "Oh, only Lando uses chips." I was like,
I
that's
see what
clever.
you did.
Oh.
I think one of my favorite parts about it was because it was before it opened, because it was before, like, everyone's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and so
They're-
freaking stoked to
Yeah,
be there.
yeah.
All of the staff was
And
like, I've been chosen!
Yeah.
This is my destiny!
Yeah.
This is the place for me!
Yeah.
It was so cool.
They
Everyone
haven't
was
been jaded yet.
Yeah, that's the one thing
excited.
I've heard a few people say is you want to go to Galaxy's Edge before they're sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as I could tell, everyone was really excited to be there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the staff was just as excited as
Oh, they
everyone
were.
else.
And it was totally just like made the mood better. And the whole experience
for
better.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so jobs.
So
on
we're
the
going
Falcon.
into the Falcon. So as you go in, they're like, okay, how many people are in your group? Okay, here's your jobs.
It was by
Hang
color.
out
You got
by
like
color.
your orange.
Yeah.
6 people. You were
Yeah.
color coded.
They
so
send you
they
off to the
call
left.
back.
Oh, no, we're not there yet because we see Hondo first.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what
So
I want to
it's-
talk about. Robot Hondo.
Yeah. So they bring you in this little waiting room, and Hondo's like taking care of business, and like there's TVs, and there's a
A
droid.
an R2 unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R4
And then-
unit?
An astromech of some sort.
Yeah, some sort of astromech, and he's like talking, going through a spiel, and you're like, it's Hondo.
The animatronics are light years
It was
ahead
so good.
of
It's
what
crazy.
the-
They
like,
they
they
released a preview of
Yeah.
it for Celebration. It did not look great.
It didn't look great because it looked like they ripped the skin off of Jack Sparrow and then
Well,
shoved
yeah,
Hondo
so-
onto him,
Yeah.
and he moved. So this is a podcast, and I'm
No.
moving badly. But like, there were some
Yeah.
things about him that were really fluid, but generally it was that uncanny, like you're too smooth when you're smooth, and
Yeah.
you're too rough when you're rough, and that was the big concern. And then like the first thing Bryan said the next day was
They
like,
would not like that
"Dude,
at all.
the Hondo's like the greatest thing I've ever
Hondo's
seen."
Hondo. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
was-
Jack Sparrow. It's frickin' Hondo.
I mean, they got similar hair.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
That's-
So it's cool too because they showed him. So he was originally in Clone Wars and then got brought back for Rebels, and in the Rebels kind of redesign, they made him older because he's
The time has passed. He should be older.
so that exactly. So then again with this one, they gave him like longer braids, like a few more wrinkles. They aged him like pretty awesomely.
This is the first time that an animated character that originated in animation actually came to
Yeah.
the live action world. 'Cause didn't Dave Filoni
Besides
design
Chopper. Yeah. In fact, Dave Filoni designed the new Hondo, the old Hondo.
Dave Filoni's the best.
Yeah, he
Dave
is.
Filoni was trained by the man himself.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty realistic because
Mm-hmm.
before Hondo, it was the auctioneer at Pirates of the Caribbean was their best ever,
Yeah.
highest rated
Right.
robot
Animatronic.
yeah.
and I think Hondo was on par because I feel like
Oh,
he
beat
moved
it.
much
Beat it.
like it,
Yeah.
He's moving around a lot more, and
Yeah.
he's
He is.
doing a lot more.
and he's talking a lot more.
yeah, there's
That's
a lot
true.
more facial movements and like stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's a pretty bitchy
It
robot.
was so.
The robot that is the big slug guy.
Where at?
Oh, I'm trying to remember where it was. So it used to be Akbar in one of the rides, like Star Tours or something, right?
There's an Akbar in Star Tours.
Yeah.
So I think they took out Akbar and they put in a dude with like a big slug head.
Oh, it's in the antiquity
Oh.
shot.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh.
I forget.
Doc Ondar.
Doc Ondar.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get there.
Oh
Yeah.
my
We'll
God.
get
Oh,
there.
Doc Ondor's got
Oh, okay, we haven't
big
got
yeah.
there yet.
So-
But that
That
guy,
animatronic.
Oh, he is
he
amazing.
looked
Yeah.
really cool, and I was like,
You're
Oh.
right. More simple because he's in a chair. You only really
Yeah.
see him turning, like moving
Yeah,
his head.
yeah.
But it looked so
And,
realistic, like
straight
someone could have been in
from a
that
movie.
costume.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
it was really
Wow.
neat.
Well, we'll get to
Before we
Doc
move into
Ondor's.
Doc Ondar, let's finish
So the
with
Falcon, I had a cool
situation.
story with that. So we're in the Falcon, and
You've passed
or no,
Hondo,
so we
you've gotten
passed
your
Hondo. They go left or right.
Cards.
They go to the same Falcon interior, and it's like,
When you go past Hondo, you are boarding the Falcon.
yeah,
Okay.
you're walking into the inside of the Falcon.
That's when I
and
cried.
it was
There were
just
tears
so
in my eyes.
yeah.
It's pretty-
I walked
pretty
in, I'm
Lied
like,
and turned and said, "Chewie, we're home."
basically, yes. And they're like, hey, welcome in. Like, you got a few more minutes till you guys leave. Feel free to walk around, hit some buttons, flip some switches,
Oh,
go
we
play the
didn't get
game
that.
over there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're like, okay.
Because there's probably 4 or 5 groups of 6 your other
Yeah.
groups in the area all waiting for their name to
Yeah,
be called.
and they'll call
so you can
your-
just hang out in that
color.
little.
Oh man, we didn't even get to do that. We just went
Hollow
straight
Straight
in.
area.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So
That's
we were
neat. You
standing
get to, like,
around, we were
mess around in there.
hanging around flipping buttons, and I'm like, this is holy crap. And I'm sitting there, and then
You
there's
can
a
take a little time to take pictures.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So then there's a little group in the corner, and they're flipping some buttons or whatever, and all of a sudden, like, the lights go down, and like things start flashing and making noise. We're like, what is that? And all of a sudden, the cast members are like, the red button! Hit the red button! You gotta push it! Push it! There's poisonous gas! And then my roommate like runs over to the button they're pointing at, and he hits it, and then it goes, "Phew," and it goes back to normal. We're like, it was the coolest
That's
thing
so
ever.
Cool. I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either.
Yeah. So that happened, and they're like, "Oh, thank you. That was a close one." And we're like,
That's cool.
and then they called us in there, and then we were engineers in the first round, and then we went through the second time and got to be the pilots, but the thing didn't go off again, so we're like, oh, man.
Okay.
And I kept trying to find the buttons or the switches that would make it go off. And I was thinking it was probably something on the far side, so if someone would hit a button over here, which would make the button over on the other side of the room go off. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, and it was so cool. Yeah, that was the ride.
And then the jobs are
3 jobs.
3 jobs.
So
Gunner,
there's the
pilot, engineer.
And there's 2 of each.
2 of each.
And
Two
you
of
swap
each,
it.
and all the other.
And I'm sure that once people figure it out and like put it on the internet and say, now this is the way that you beat this game.
Yeah, because it's a game. It's a half video game, half ride.
It feels more like a video game than a ride.
It does.
But I was definitely, I made some like old lady, like, woo!
Oh, yeah. Oh, we totally played into it. And we're like,
oh, yeah. It was super fun.
In fact, we got in the
my
second
peaky
time.
old lady noises.
We got in the second time, and we were both pilots. And my roommate looks back and he goes, "How you doing? I'll be your pilot today." And I'm like,
that's
"Get it!" Like milking it up. It was great.
I think that's once people get acclimated to the environment, they will adapt and just make it their own. I think the people that are going to be hardcore, because this is going to sell passes just so people can go and get off of work and hang out in Star Wars for a few hours before they have to go to their satellites.
Right, yeah. Well, and it's fun too because you get scores on the game.
Oh yeah.
So depending on what you do,
actually,
I didn't understand how
I was like, I don't even know. I put it on manual, and
but it was different both times we went with like how well we did, and it's like really obvious because there's one flight we did where we did pretty good, and we had a higher pay score. You get credits.
Nice.
And you get deductions for damaging the ship and stuff.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's really immersive. I think that nerds that love Star Wars are gonna lose their flipping faces over it, and I think that everyone else is equally going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like it's super duper fun for people that don't have to be really knowledgeable about Star Wars. But the amount of effort and knowledge that was put into it will make all of the hardcore geeks just like shit themselves.
Speaking of which, part of the reason Clay, my roommate, brought me in there is because I've been going like way back with Star Wars. Like I read those books back in the day. And he's like, it's really cool to see you in here. And he like mentioned it because you're going, hey, look at that, and put up in the corner, like, oh, hey, that's this, and this, and then like down below.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Is
seeing like all the little details that only the hardcore people would figure out. Yeah.
I was really stoked to go with my dad because my dad watched Star Wars, when he was a kid, and so having him there and having something from the amount of nostalgia that was drummed up, it was pretty fantastic. Getting him to be like, oh my god, this is like living inside my childhood. It's really cool because that's what Disney's all about, right? Disney's all about taking something that you loved as a kid and keeping that love alive and keeping it feeling like it's magic and special and
letting you live in it.
Yeah, and letting you be there in it. And so I think that if that is the goal of Disneyland, then they hit the nail on the head because that's 100% what's happening.
I've cried at Disneyland so many times just being over emotional. I mean, I cried when Santa came out in the parade last time I was there. I was like, oh my god, it's and I'm like, that's not any more. There's nothing more realistic about that Santa than any other Santa experience. Lost my shit.
That's Disney.
Because you're already just so welled up with like, I'm a kid the whole time, and then someone goes, boom, Santa, and you're like, you're gone. That's great. I'm getting emotional right now.
You are right. One of the things that gets me, like, I hadn't been to Disney in a really long time, and I grew up in Southern California, so I've always had friends that work there or new people or whatever. So I haven't like. Being at Disney wasn't super special for me like it is for a kid from Idaho. You know what I mean? But I forget because I don't go all the time. I like showed up and I was like on Main Street and they put some like ridiculously catchy pop song on, like just a little bit too loud on a loudspeaker, and it was like the Disneyland was just like opening up and waking up. Yeah. And it felt really good.
Took you back.
I was like, God damn it, the mouse has got me. Yeah. Got me by my innards.
Oh my god. Okay, so I've had an annual pass for 2 years now, and I probably go twice a week.
Wow.
I mean,
why not?
I live right here. Why not? Yeah. And I have a 2-year-old nephew. He's 3. Sorry. He's 3. Sorry, nephew. You can count, and you're 3. You argue with me all the time. And so I take him all the time. So I'm with a child, but I am there a lot. So I've
now that
seen
he's 3, he's going to have to get his own ticket. So.
We're at the point of not going anymore because he's 3.
See?
He's too expensive. I can't afford
It's
him.
too much, man.
But so I've been there for from the parking structure, seeing it built up from the back.
Yeah, that
every
was
time we drive over that
every time
overpass.
we go. And so what I honestly didn't even know there was going to be the entrance by Splash Mountain.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that was going to open up. There's so what I thought was the main entrance is the tunnel right behind Thunder Mountain.
That's
like
what
under
I thought.
the bridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's been boarded up with this picture that says Galaxy's Edge coming soon. Years. I've looked at that picture like when?
Yeah.
I'm ready to bust through this tunnel and get to this other side.
Wait, are they
see what it
using
looks
that
like.
tunnel finally?
Now,
Yeah.
you can exit through that tunnel,
Yep.
but you don't. Our group didn't enter
We
through that
exited
tunnel.
through that tunnel, but we came in the other way.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
we came in, there was
It's
a
the
line
better
of
way to
people
go the other
clapping
way, to be
us
honest.
in.
Because the other way is the
Yeah, my dad
end,
tried.
and you go
It was
through the
really
whole
sweet.
world.
He was
The
like,
Thunder
not
Mountain
expecting
tunnel's
to
right in the
come in.
middle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you actually going in the Thunder Mountain, I guess you would walk up and see the marketplace and see the Falcon, I think is where it is. But
Yeah.
it was kind
I
of
can't
nice.
imagine there's an entrance that isn't awe-inspiring. Like, it's
Yeah.
Disney.
No, either way, it's
Either
gonna
way,
be
it
like,
would be great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to see how much effort they put into not being able to see anything outside of the
Yeah.
land or inside.
or
of it.
inside.
It's
So,
great. I
even-
forgot I was at Disneyland when I was
Yeah.
there. I
Yeah.
forgot I was at
Yeah.
Disneyland. I was
Did you
at
forget
a
you were on
Star
Earth?
Wars themed
Yeah.
park.
So actually, the only thing we did see is on that second level when we're going to the Falcon. When I was looking outside at the rain, the only thing you can see is Thunder Mountain's mountain.
Top peak.
But it
plays
totally
into
fits.
everything.
It
You know
totally
they did that
fits.
shit on.
Oh, they
Yeah,
totally
and,
did.
and when you're there, all the foliage, it's all like California native, like sagebrush, like stuff.
Naturally,
yeah.
And so it looks great. It feels like you're in California, but it also feels like you're on another planet.
Yeah.
And all of the like power supply, everything's hidden so masterfully. That's
Oh,
one of my
that's-
favorite
yeah.
things about Disney is how they hide everything.
Yeah.
So all of the like trash cans and light posts and everything look really neat.
It feels
And they're
on
also
world.
like it's trash cannons in like Star Wars basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, back when we did Halloween mazes and I had an actual Disneyland pass and I was going also like several times a month.
Mhm.
That was one of the things that we were always looking at.
Yeah.
Compared to like Universal, where Universal will have speakers just out.
Just out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in their mazes, which are generally pretty good because they do hide them, but like if you find them, it's a speaker. Whereas if you find that shit in Disneyland,
You're not gonna
it's
know.
still camouflaged.
Yeah, it's
On
like it's
top,
in a rock
Yeah,
or
it's like the rock speakers and things like that. Like that's something they're very, very good at. They're
And
just
you know
love
what?
that sensory shit.
You know what that comes from? Money. Because they pay people to do
Oh,
that shit.
and at night we could see the fireworks, the Small World fireworks from Galaxy's Edge.
Oh.
So it's not prime viewing, but that kind of brought me back to
Still
like,
kinda
oh, it's Disneyland, it's fireworks
We're
time.
still here. Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of was almost like Death Star explosion.
Ah.
So it was right over Olga, the cantina.
Yeah.
It was kind of like boom, boom, boom. We were like,
Okay.
something's exploding.
That's,
Its time has come.
Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it would be really neat. I highly recommend that if anybody goes, they bring their nerdiest Star Wars buddy to
I can't wait to
revel
roll
in
with
it.
like my crew of Star Wars people and just
Live it up.
yeah.
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 Just
Definitely.
geek out, like
Nice.
full on, undiscriminatory, just geek it
Yeah.
out.
So we all rode the Falcon.
Yes.
Did we?
Except for
Soon.
Bryce.
Soon. But did anyone build the lightsaber?
No.
No,
So
too expensive.
I knew it was $200 going into it, but like
Oh,
we
yeah.
still walked up and was like, hey, are we able to go in and like see? And like, no, you have to pay $200 right off the bat. They're like, hey, which group do you want to be in or
Because
whatever?
it's an interactive experience.
It's a pre-order
Which-
too. You have to sign up for it before
Yeah.
you go in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's good to know for next time. Yeah. Because I'm definitely going to save up and do that.
Did you just get bits?
Mm-hmm. So, sort of. So with the lightsaber, you build the hilt, different pieces, and they also give you kyber crystal, which is part of the whole building story.
Yeah.
But in Doc Ondar's antiquity shop, which was the best, like
It was the best thing about
it was
Zelda.
my favorite thing in the entire place was a freaking merch store.
Yeah.
Because there's so much everything. There's a bunch of Jedi stuff. There's a bunch of Sith stuff.
It's nostalgia.
And there's a bunch of stuff up on the
Everything.
wall. Yeah. There's little
Yeah,
like props and stuff from the movies.
The props and everything, because it's high vaulted ceilings and
Yeah.
it's all the way around. Everything is covered.
Yes.
So there's helmets and like.
It's like a museum.
There's literally it's a
Every inch
museum.
is covered.
And you can buy
Antiquities
stuff.
shop, if you will.
Yeah, it's like weird. But that's my favorite stuff. And I had the first thing I saw with all the merch stuff was the holocron. I'm like, I want one of those. And so I went in and like, crap, do I want the Jedi holocron or do I want the Sith holocron? So I got the Sith holocron, because duh. So I got a Sith holocron right here. I got it.
Yeah, we're all Jedi.
Yeah, whatever.
You,
good.
Brian.
So so then I got the Sith one. Then I got two kyber crystals. Yeah, go for it.
Is it gonna make noise?
Yes, it will. So if you turn that. Yeah. So there's little black dots you can see.
Oh no, it's all you.
I mean, I played with them in the store. I just didn't buy one.
I mean, I've seen it, but I also have not actually gotten to play it.
Yeah,
actually.
There you go.
Okay, I didn't do that in the store.
It did, but you couldn't hear it. Also,
good point.
What's funny about the store is you go in and there's a guy that's in front, kind of like helping you, and they're supposed to be in character, and like I don't know what these are, kind of thing. But this guy was straight up like he didn't know anything, anyways. He had kind of like was out of character.
The
like,
guy working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I just grabbed one of those, and like eventually someone else figured it out and like how to work it and stuff. But so yeah, you get the base like Jedi or Sith that's in there, and then you can buy extra kyber crystals, or the ones you get from the lightsaber. You want to open that up?
Nope.
Do you want to open it up? Cool.
I've never played with this thing. I've only watched you play with it. All right.
It's kind of a pain in the ass to get it open. There we go. So it opens up.
Okay.
You put it in the kyber crystal. You close it back up. Turn it back on.
The kyber crystals remind me of those toys of the Sorcerer's Stone that you would get when Harry Potter first came out. The little like plastic.
Yeah. And then you hit that.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some
And it's
considered to
Palpatine.
be unnatural.
Yeah.
Emperor.
So each one has like 2 or 3 different little.
Let me help you to know the
things.
subtleties of the Force.
We don't need
My
to say the
mentor
entire
taught me
thing.
everything about the Force.
So,
Even
yeah.
the
So wait, does it
nature of the
change if you
dark
put a
side.
blue crystal in it?
So apparently, yeah. So it's so new that a lot of people haven't done all the combinations yet.
It was 2 days before we heard him actually tell the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
He's like, have you
in
heard
fact,
the
I had
tale?
just said, like, wouldn't it be cool? There better be a Darth Plagueis.
Yeah,
in there.
and I'm like, I haven't like.
Crystal.
Oh yeah.
This is a podcast. And
You got 2 Sith crystals?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
It totally,
Yeah.
this is totally like.
But apparently,
reminds
if
me
you
of
get the
Sorcerer's
Sith
Stone.
holocron,
Oh my God.
Don't break it.
Shit.
Oh my
It's
God.
indestructible.
Yeah, it's fine.
if you get the Sith holocron and put it with the
The Jedi.
Jedi
Jedi
crystal.
holocron, like if you get the holocrons near each
a little-
other, they will,
something happens.
They will allegedly
Yeah.
interact as well.
Yeah, I know who it is, and
it
it's
explodes,
pretty
and then all your
rad.
money was for nothing.
Yeah. So I just put in the other one, and then we got. Come on.
For 1,000 years, the Sith hid in shadow. Now we rule in secret.
Yeah.
The galaxy does not need to know that my master commands the Force. It only needs to obey him.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Oh.
So there's Vader.
I will say, as much as I really do enjoy the new movies and Kylo and Rey, I wish Vader was walking around.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they can't mix timelines, but I want to see old stormtroopers. I want to see Vader
But,
walking
like,
around.
They're different cuts.
That would be
Oh,
so
neato.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh, that's cool.
Glynnes
Like
is
little
looking at them.
variants.
Each crystal has a different cut, so it's
But
different
they still
shapes.
look like the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
Especially
but-
the red.
So there's 9 different dark side Sith ones, and each one has a different Sith dark Jedi talking.
Oh my God.
and then the Jedi ones have there's 4 or 5 different colors. There's red, blue.
Red is not
No,
a Jedi
I'm
color.
like-
That's
I'm
a blood
blue,
crystal,
purple.
sir.
No, I was like, I'm also in Pokemon mode because they just show the Shield and Sword games preview. Anyways,
Genre mixing alert!
yeah. So then, so there's green, blue, yellow, white, and purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Mace Windu that shit.
also there's different Jedi for each color.
He's the only one.
Except Mace Windu, who's the only one with the purple one.
Yeah. For now.
Unless they
For
got
now.
another Jedi to voice a Kyber crystal.
Yeah, which I think I don't know.
Is it Samuel?
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
If it's not, it'll be the guy from the show who is
It's
pretty close.
Pretty damn
Pretty
close.
Yeah.
close.
As long as it's not Mark Thompson.
Yeah. So, but no. So like, there's different characters for different colored crystals.
And apparently, there's also different timeline.
Yeah, so
chunks,
there's-
too.
there's
you
a-
can get
That's what I was gonna
Sidious,
say.
prequel Sidious versus like
Return of the Jedi.
Jedi Sidious.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then there's like I heard Ahsoka's in one of them, and there's a Temple Guard in another one,
That's
and Qui-Gon, and then Kanan's in
I
another
didn't
one.
see any
Like,
Ahsoka stuff.
oh, there's a few.
Is
I
there?
saw Ahsoka. She's in the little dolls that look like they're homemade,
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
like toys. Yeah,
And there's also black kyber crystals.
Yes! There's a super rare black kyber crystal, like obsidian, that's like pretty much hard to find.
They're
apparently.
mixed in. It's like 1 in 50.
Yeah,
is
so
the
you
black
can't-
one. You can't tell.
Yeah,
but when
so-
you open it, it's like you've gotten something special, and it explains to you what it is.
Actually, yeah, so it, like...
Man, that's good marketing.
Yeah, so this is a podcast,
So
and
much money.
we're recording in a dark room.
Promotion.
Yeah, right? So cool. So we're in a dark room over here, because it's whatever, it's nice.
We're in my office.
Yeah, we're in the office.
Yeah, we're in the office
And
at
you
the
can't
Comic Book
see,
Hideout.
I'm holding up
You
like
know.
the little canister,
It's cooler
the crystals
in
come in, and like, you can't really see into it.
It's red.
It's red, but like, it's...
You can't even
yeah.
see that there's a crystal in it.
But
to be honest.
apparently, if you do it up and
Put a
show
flashlight
a
on it?
flashlight, say from a phone, you can see
I
a
didn't
little
even
bit
know
of
that
it.
there was writing on the freaking...
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
little
Thing.
writings. And,
Yeah, it's pretty neat
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah,
They
so-
definitely took their time with all of this.
Yeah, so next time I go, I'm definitely gonna like be
But
that
you know,
guy.
it's already out. Everyone's already doing
yeah,
it.
yeah. I'll be like looking in the crystal and see, cause yeah,
I wonder whose voice the black
I know it is. Snoke.
Is it Snoke?
one. Okay.
Yeah, which
Okay,
kind of makes
so
sense.
Do we know what's
Okay,
up?
I'm
it
sorry.
Andy
This is a
Serkis?
little-
Did they tell
Probably.
us what's up with Snoke? Because I feel like the movie didn't give us enough
So
information
from the
about that guy.
books, he's like a super ancient being from the unknown regions that's been around that Palpatine knew about, but like that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's more information than we knew before.
yeah.
Barely.
Yeah, he's super fancy and extra and basic and likes super
Like we
fancy
couldn't
things.
tell from his magnificent gold coat.
Right, yeah, yeah. Right. He probably gets frappuccinos all the time. It's cool. But
All the
yeah.
boxes checked on the side of that
Uh-huh.
galactic Starbucks cup.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my favorite part, but there's also they have Darth Vader's castle, a miniature $200 version, and it looks fucking gorgeous.
They had in the antiquity shop
Mm-hmm.
this very expensive things.
Yes.
Yes.
But they were very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. A lot of statues, like the
got
Maz
the
statue.
statue.
Yeah, I got a cool
Like
Jedi
Maz
statue. Like,
from like the front of the
Yeah.
the
Jedi Temple?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
little, but it's
yeah,
the
but it's
replica of
really
the
cool, and it's a
statue.
There's a
solid.
Cool.
really cool statue in the before you get to the marketplace.
Yeah.
Like a full, like she's gotta
She's
be like
holding
8
up
or 9
something.
feet tall.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
right outside
What is that
the antiquity
from?
shop.
Do you know what that's from?
Nope, I don't.
Oh, I was
guess
too
it's some sort of
distracted by
Jedi.
her to figure out that was the antiquity shop. I was like, look at that cool statue.
They'll say, I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Every time I
yeah.
walk by, I'm like, that's a cool statue. I like that. Every time I did it, like, I noticed something else. The thing she's holding, she's not holding. It's supposed to be floating from the Force.
Oh, okay.
And there's like
okay.
a little tiny like thing behind her
I
hand.
didn't notice.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in
cool.
front of her is a giant. It's a foot. It's this big.
Yeah, it's a statue.
It's
I
a
didn't notice that
broken
until
foot.
my third
Yeah,
walk through.
yeah.
It's just a
It's
foot
gotta
on a
be.
pedestal, and then in front of that, there's a bust of a Jedi sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
In front of
Yeah.
that.
It's supposed to be
It
like
just-
busted up stuff.
Yeah,
I
like
just,
old school,
you just
yeah.
notice more and more every
Just
time I
like-
yeah.
walk by.
It's
Yeah.
really
That's
the
incredible.
people that designed it and put all the detail really. You could feel the love. You could
Yeah.
feel the love
Yeah.
and the knowledge that went behind
But
it.
they also like worked with the Lucasfilm
Yeah.
story group.
Can we
so,
talk
like,
about the story when Doc Ondar and V whatever her name
Yes.
is?
So currently, there's a comic book, Galaxy's Edge.
It's
available.
out, available.
At Comic Book Hideout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on issue number 2.
Yeah.
We have those now.
Yeah, we do. 2 weeks late.
Shh.
Thanks, Diamond.
Thanks, Diamond.
Thanks, Simon.
But it shows you different stories of how Doc Ondar got different things. So the first issue was how Doc Ondar wanted a baby Sarlacc.
Oh
So
yeah.
Han
that
and
was so
Chewie,
cool.
that was so freaking rad in there.
That's so
Did you
cool.
see it? Oh, so in there's like a little tank,
It's like a 3 foot.
3 foot
Oh,
tank.
That...
Yeah,
That's
and
what
you
that
see if you look
was.
inside, there's a little Sarlacc, but underneath it shows what's underneath, and it's this big giant belly. It's like an iceberg,
It's
little
like a
tiny up top,
platypus
Yeah.
belly.
and then it was
It's,
so
it's
cool.
like looking at an ant farm. It's like kind of cut in half
Yeah.
and seeing the dirt,
Yeah.
and you just see this giant.
animal belly thing,
Yeah.
and little tentacles sticking
And
up.
it moved. It breathed.
Yeah.
And the tentacles
Oh,
moved like it
yeah.
was alive.
So the Galaxy's Edge comic shows Han and Chewie going to pick it up for Doc Ondar. So the second issue came out, and it shows how they got. Oh no, it had Coyote Mooney's.
It's got Coyote Mooney in the beginning, and then it's got
Yeah.
looks like Greedo
his
and
lightsabers
Hondo.
in it. Yeah. So Greedo's in it. I haven't read it yet,
Basically, it's just more lore for
but
for
yeah,
part 2.
which I am
Yeah.
all about.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised more people aren't, like, ripping their arms off to come and get those comics.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a comic.
Oh, we got
I
issues.
think that a lot of people didn't. And so once it's open,
Yeah.
they'll have them
Yeah.
in
They have them at the
Gone
park.
to-
We
They have them
saw.
at the park that you can get.
Yeah.
Issue 2's
Um,
here.
Issue
We
2's
have
here,
that,
yeah.
But issue 1's
But-
sold out. pretty quick.
Yeah, but I think that there's gonna be a second wave of people being like, oh my god, there's a comic book that tells me all about the land. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a tie-in book that's coming out in a couple months.
Yep.
I think they're tying that with the Orlando opening, because there's also Galaxy's Edge opening over there in August, September.
And I think that's when the Resistance ride is supposed to open here.
Yeah.
So the Resistance ride, one of my I know the project manager on that ride.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, she's really cool. She's actually like super crazy young and awesome and top notch.
Nice.
But she's supposed to, fingers crossed, have it done by August to get it opened. Mm-hmm. But there's all kinds of like stuff that goes along with it.
It looked gnarly.
It's not ready.
There's a point where you're walking where you can see the track.
So,
but you see
the entrance too.
Oh yeah, you see the entrance too, but you see there's like 4 or 5 different tracks like layered on each other, and it looked intense.
My dad said there's a downed spaceship, like a crashed spaceship.
Cool.
That is in there, and you can't see it from what they have open.
Blocked
but
off.
once you're in the line, then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, because me looking at the Galaxy's Edge map on the Star Wars app, because you can only walk through here. This is the entrance, but you can see there's stuff back there, and I was like, look at this X-Wing. I want to see the X-Wing, and you can't, because you can't get back there.
Tantivy? But
I don't know because I couldn't get down there.
Yeah.
I know. It had
this is a podcast, and we're looking at a phone which has maps
on the map.
Yeah.
I looked at it before I went, so I knew where I was going.
Right.
And I was like, look at all these cool ships. I can't wait to these cool ships. And we saw the X-Wing and the A-Wing, and I was like, I know there's like 3 more ships. Where are they?
Yeah.
They're on the map. I need to see them. And
Where are the ships?
they're not there.
They're not ready yet. But when I was walking around, the guy who designed that area was telling his wife, they completely overfoliaged. There's too many trees. No one can see it back there.
On purpose. They're hiding it from us.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
And when we walked up to the entrance, there was like 4 cast members?
Yeah.
What do they call them on Batu? Like the
They're
citizens?
Just, there's the
citizens.
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 They were blocking the entrance.
Oh yeah, there were
Same with
at
us.
least 3 people
and I
over
walked
there
up
making sure people weren't over there.
So what's going on over here? And in character, like, this may or may not be a resistance base.
Yeah.
We are not sure what's behind these shrubs. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait, you got this.
Yeah.
It may or may not be opening later this year. I was like, right. I did not hear that from you, sir.
I'll have to fly back over here.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And when you go
next time
on world, they tell you, welcome to Batu, we're here. And when you leave, they say, have a good flight off world.
Yeah.
Like you're leaving the planet.
That's super cool.
It's very cute.
So cool.
Bright suns, everyone.
Yeah.
Bright
See,
suns.
I got
Bright
rising
suns.
moons. I was there at night.
You were there at night.
I was there when it was raining and no one knew what to do. In fact, like all the storm, like
I didn't even know there was a show.
yeah. So apparently it's
show?
once or
There's a
twice
show.
in the afternoon. Stormtroopers and much of the First Order comes out, and then I think Kylo Ren comes out, and he's like pissed off because he can't find any of those goddamn rebels. And they're supposed to come out and like grovel at his feet and like apologize.
Well,
But it rained and no one like knew what was going to go on.
The hangar bay where like the land speeder was, they climb up on and there's explosions. There's pyrotechnics.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw a clip on Instagram because I was jealous I didn't get to see it.
Chewie was there and Rey was there when I was there, and Chewie was walking around, and there's a spot that's like lifted up and he was like working on something, like banging on something or doing that, and Rey's like walking around like, looking with furtive purpose. And what's the girl's name? She has blue on the bottom of her hair.
V or Vi something.
Yeah.
The character of the park, like the main
she's
character.
One of the pilots.
She's a character in the Galaxy's Edge lore specifically for
which she was introduced in the Phasma book.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
she's a resistance spy.
The chick that they have playing her in park is awesome. I was so stoked on her interaction with me and my dad, and just her presence in general.
Yeah, it's Vi Marathi or V Marathi.
V Marathi, I think is what she said, but maybe it's Vi. But she specifically, that chick that they have cast as her, which they probably have like half dozen or whatever. But she was fantastic.
Oh, cool.
She was interactive with everybody. She was like, she wasn't just walking past people on a mission. She was like making sure she was touching everybody and like, making sure she was saying something to you and talking to kids, and it was really great.
That's cool.
I thought she did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I heard when the stormtroopers come back around, she hides behind people. Don't tell them I'm here.
It was really cute. She was kind of getting my dad's goat a little bit because he was like, oh, I'm supposed to play along. My bad.
Polygon.com did a spec piece thing on her, and it was really cool because that's like
her hair looks
the big thing about her is that she's completely immersive but has like a full story that's beyond just the like I work here and I sell things. Like she's got a whole plot that interacts with everything else there. She's like the linchpin that holds that story together.
Like Princess Leia sent her there.
Yeah. It's super cool. There's a part with
the general.
Oh, there's a part with Princess Leia, but that's not in. It's new to Star Tours. I'm new. I just got here and they fixed Star Tours and changed it, and I was like, oh, it's Leia. What's she doing there?
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that before, but that's probably been the way it is for years.
For a couple years now, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Leia's in the beginning of Star Tours.
It's different.
Is it different now?
Every time.
Every time is different.
Oh,
there's
three parts, and you can get a different beginning, middle, and end.
There's like 2 or 3 different openings. There's like 4 or 5 different characters you can get, and there's like, there's 3 intro planets, and then like 3 or 4 people that are gonna tell you to like, send the spy here.
And there's a few of the projected message people.
Cute.
And there's 3 or 4 different planets you can go to. So there's so many different combinations you can get.
That's awesome.
And they'll add in a few as like new things come out.
Last time we went, I think we did Hoth and Naboo when I was the spy.
Sounds about right.
You get to be the spy.
I do everything I can
3
to
times.
be the spy.
Yep.
Like I sit properly, I make sure that I'm facing at a good angle.
You don't put the glasses on when they tell you to.
Like all the different things and rumors that they say on the internet, try them all.
It kind of works.
Good for you.
It's incredible to me how geeky people can get about Disney stuff. Like not just franchises like Star Wars because that's something its own entity, but people that geek out about Disneyland. And it's incredible the amount.
2 times a week.
2 times a week. I am fully supportive of Disney Magic. Every time I walk onto the property, I am no longer in Anaheim, California. I am in Disneyland. Yeah. This is my time. This is my vacation, and I can sit here. I can ride as many rides.
So I mean, you really kind of have left Anaheim.
Kind of.
They just own Anaheim, so
right? Yeah.
They pay for like all the revenue.
We need a hockey team. Good. We'll make the Ducks because Disney owns us.
Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Yeah.
Emilio. Anyway, you were saying.
And he tipped his hat like so. I love that we got all the way around. That was excellent. It's cool to me because for something that's seemingly, stealing all of the world's wealth and taking over the
industry and owns every
not just
studio
the industry, all the industries.
They just own.
Disney's just gonna, remember back in the day when Walmart was coming up and everyone's like, oh my God, Walmart's gonna own everything. They're just gonna buy up the United States.
Disney actually did it.
Yeah, no, but for reals, it's like, it's gonna be a knockout, drag out between like Disney and Amazon at some point, and it's just Disney's
and whoever wins gets to go fireworks above the White House.
It's really cool though to see the amount of time and effort that people put into it that do love it, and that the people that work for them that have that same love and that same passion, because it shows in the people that care about it and want to be there all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I would say the 4-hour window we got, half of that time I was just looking. I was like, oh, look at that. Look at that paint job.
Same.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the footprints in the ground. Wow.
Through the trash cans.
It's like
Whoa,
Indiana
there's
Jones.
droids up there.
Yeah.
And that's like, we need to acknowledge that when you make posts and this is for people out listening to our tiny message. When you post things, like, be appreciative of all the hard work, because it's been years and years that people have been pouring themselves into this project. Yeah. And apparently it was a very horrible project to work on if you're a contractor of any kind, because Disney's really, really demanding and wants everything to be perfect.
Yes.
Because it is. Because when you get there, you're like, oh my God, it is.
It shows.
Yeah.
When you make posts and stuff, please acknowledge those people and that artisanry, because it's
a lot goes on behind the scenes.
A lot goes on.
And also experience it, because the first half I was there, I didn't take any photos. And I go, you were different. You weren't allowed to take photos. Yeah. But I was so overwhelmed, I didn't even want my camera out. And my dad knows I do social media. He goes, why aren't you taking pictures? I'm here
this
on
is my
planet.
time.
Yeah.
This is my time. I'm going to be here and experience it.
Yeah. I was really grateful that we could take pictures, because my dad left his phone in the car for the whole day.
Wow.
And I just got to hang out with my dad for like 12 hours. It was
great.
It was really wonderful.
Cool. Oh my God, you were there all day.
Well, I hadn't been in forever.
And you had to pay for a ticket, didn't
And my
you?
dad, we got park hopper tickets.
Of course.
And my dad hadn't been in forever, and they changed all the stuff on the boardwalk to Pixar Land, even though it's just a paint job.
Yeah.
But so he had never done Guardians of the Galaxy, and I hadn't either, so, you know.
You had to do the
I love
whole
that.
shebang.
We did the whole shebang. We got there at 7. We were in with our passes in Tomorrowland by 8 o'clock, and we left at like 7 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we did a whole day.
Disney
I will
day.
say.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the only time I'm going to go for the next like 10 years or
true.
whatever, so you got to get it all in.
I went with my dad and my boyfriend. That was my boyfriend's first time at Disneyland ever.
Wow.
Ever. And we did
That's
Disneyland.
special.
That's
and
cool.
God's
That's
Edge.
special.
It was really
yeah.
cool.
That's super cool. I can't even imagine, because I've been going since I was a kid. I remember all the things that are changed.
I know.
You know, like, I remember this when I was like, I haven't touched foot in Toontown since I was a teenager.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
the same.
Right? I'm
The
surprised
one
that's
place.
still
Right.
there.
Yeah.
It's really neat to see someone experience their first time at Disney. Like, I love just going and people watching and just seeing people go,
Like lose their minds over
Oh my
stuff.
God.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah,
my
it's
favorite things to
great.
do is people watch.
Yeah.
Because it's wonderful to see that happiness. Because some people, you don't know what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
But like you said, they get into Disneyland, they let all that go,
It's
and they just get to
Disneyland.
be there.
And cast members too.
Yeah.
Like, we all know Disney's not the greatest company to work for. It's not a lie, not a secret.
Mhm.
But people at Disneyland, I've had some of the best experiences with workers
Mhm.
Yeah.
at any other place.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard stories like for every few like horror stories, there's one that just redeems it like 10 times over, and like this is
Yeah.
why I'm here.
My aunt works as a nurse at Disneyland,
Oh.
and her husband is a mechanic and like fixes mechanical stuff all over the park. She's like my ex-step aunt, but she's
Brothers,
she-
not nephews, no.
doesn't matter.
Former roommate.
Former roommate.
But she's been working there my entire life.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
It's a lifer.
yeah, and but she works other jobs. She's a professional nurse, so she works at other places too. But she likes being there. She just wants to be like she likes working there.
That's
so
awesome.
that's why they've been there for so long.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
and I think that people that enjoy being in that environment will thrive because they like
totally.
the structure. They like how strict it is because that's what keeps it being what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when people are like, oh, but they're so strict, blah, 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 it's like, yeah, but
because-
it's also the most magical place on earth for
Yeah.
a reason.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't strict and they were
And
lax,
think
you
about
would
it.
see
Universal.
it.
Yeah.
You'd know, you'd be
Well,
Universal.
you'd
or
be
worse,
very
Six Flags.
Six Flags.
But you know, I think so. I got a Harry Potter pass. I've
Still haven't been sent to Harry Potter Land.
Another once.
Harry Potter World is really fun.
It's really awesome if you
And-
haven't been to the Florida one.
I have not been to the Florida one. I
I've
haven't
not
been,
either.
I haven't been to
Never
been
any
to
of
Florida.
the Florida
So
parks at
legit.
all.
Oh, okay.
But I've been to this one, and what some of my best friends live in Glendale, and they have a pass together, and they call it it's like their country club.
Oh,
You
that's
know?
awesome.
So they pay their annual pass, and that's like their Harry
Their
Potter
dues.
country club.
Yeah.
And so they get to go and spend, she'll just get off of work. She's a teacher in Glendale, and she'll just get off and go and like grab a drink at Hogshead or Hogsmeade and hang out for a few hours to
Food
kind
there's
of
legit.
decompress after
Yeah.
work
So good. Yeah.
before she goes home.
That's
and
exactly
like
what I do for Disney.
that's
That's what I used to do at
her
Disneyland.
country club,
I had that
like
premium pass where
Uh-huh.
everything was cheaper too, so I didn't feel like I was wasting all my money.
Yeah.
If I lived
Only
closer
Only most of it.
to
It's all about the distance.
the distance, because for me, going to Harry Potter World is I have to drive at least an hour and then park. And then, I
in the
can't
park,
stay and have a couple drinks because then I have to drive at least an hour, if not back.
Probably more.
And probably more if it's going to be in traffic.
Mhm.
So it's hard for me to, unless I'm going to go and, do the day, or if I'm going to go and spend time and then go see my friends up in LA.
Yeah.
But that's
It's
not
hard
a
to
country
justify
club.
it.
That's a day at Universal.
Exactly. But if I lived closer, then I could utilize it like that, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what do I want to do tonight? You know what? I've been so stressed out. I just want to go and sit and watch the Griffin at Harry Potter World for a few hours, and that'll make me feel better about life.
That was me in the Monte Cristo.
Oh yeah.
I used to go to the Cafe Orleans. I'd watch the band come through 3 times, eating the Monte Cristo and snacking on whatever the hell they were going to bring me.
Yep.
I love that place.
Yeah.
I take everybody who ever goes to Disneyland to that place.
Yeah.
think
The
I
grilled
did.
cheese version is delicious too, by the way. They have a vegetarian option.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool,
it is. I've
yeah.
had it.
And
It's
it's
like 3
amazing.
cheeses.
It's
so down with that.
I think
Yeah.
there's a brie in there.
I think because I grew up super poor, and so anytime I went to Disneyland, it was because I got signed in by somebody or
Right.
somebody had passes or whatever. I remember once going as a teenager and not having any money for any food and not bringing any food and literally like sucking on mustard and honey packets.
Oh.
Like throughout the day
Hardcore.
and like sugar packets and just being like, oh my god, we gotta run from here to Tomorrowland right now and just being
Sugar
like
rush.
sugared out. But I think that I didn't get to experience Disneyland the same way that people do because they come in and they're like, I'm at Disneyland. I'm gonna drop a bunch of money. I'm gonna eat a bunch of food. I'm gonna buy some shit I don't need, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun because that's what being
it's
in
about.
Disneyland's about.
Yeah.
So I think that by going into like when I went with my dad, I was like, I'm an adult and I make my own money. I own a business. I can afford to eat at Disneyland.
And yet none of us built lightsabers. None of us got droids. Like, I'm an adult yet,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna spend
I'm
any
not
of
a
my money on
super
this.
adult.
I'm an adult, but I'm only an adult because I know to say no right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that's what
Which
makes
is
me
why I
an
dropped
adult.
$100 on these toys. But it's cool. It's fine. They're great.
Wait, you dropped $100 and you
In
only got
total.
the little
No,
thing?
in total, yeah.
He got a beautiful statue too, which is
Oh,
great.
That
okay,
was-
okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I was gonna be like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa,
No, like
whoa.
this
How
is
much
no
are
way.
those crystals?
Yeah.
I mean, the
These are
lightsabers-
crystals are $12, and the holocron was $50.
They're 50. I mean,
Yeah.
the lightsabers are
They're
gorgeous.
50?
Yeah.
And you get to build your own. I understand why it's emotionally
Yeah.
thing, but I have like 7 replicas.
I mean, I'm
Maybe.
literally
Oh,
looking
right.
at 2 shitty
And I was
lightsabers
like,
right here.
Do I need another
Yeah.
$200 one? I don't.
See, I don't have
I
one, so
like-
I'm all about it.
Oh, okay.
But after I'm like, okay, I'm good for
I
now.
guarantee you, if I bought a lightsaber, I would break it.
Is it a flick out lightsaber?
No.
Or is it
No, no,
Okay, it's one of the proper
yeah,
replicas.
no,
Like,
no.
Battle ready.
Master replicas?
Yeah,
Master-
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
Like the
have
Master
like 5
Grade
of
or
those.
whatever.
And they're gorgeous. They're
Yeah.
heavy, they're metal, they turn on and it's like ding 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 and it
And
lights
yeah,
up.
it
Yeah.
shows the light move all the way out and all
I
that.
just
And-
can't,
Can't justify it.
I would hit something with it that I wasn't supposed to, and I would break it.
Yeah.
I would probably hit
Understandable.
people with it. You can't give me a lightsaber and not
And not
expect
use
me to
it.
hit stuff with
Yeah.
it.
You know what?
I'm gonna,
I was actually surprised. I was there at night. No one had their lightsabers out. Maybe they don't allow you
Wow.
to have them out even if you built them.
Like they tell you have to hide them.
Maybe.
well, that's
See,
part
I
of
saw
the
people
that's
with
part of the
pictures.
thing. I saw people with them in the
I've seen the
packages.
packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I saw one kid that had one out, and I was like, damn.
Nobody had
Which
them out, and I was
There's a few
shocked.
people that had them out, but yeah, I think everybody else was too busy looking at everything.
Oh,
So
good
they want to
point.
put it up and like focus on the Falcon.
Okay.
It's gonna be interesting
Cantina.
to see the legal actions for all of the idiots that hit other people with lightsabers
Ooh.
in the that'd be
I think that's
interesting.
maybe why they maybe
make you put them away.
make
Could
you
be.
put it away.
Or like
Yeah.
things that are damaged. I loved seeing everything that's like tangible and touchable and meant to be touched. That's like locked down and in place.
Mhm.
Like seeing all the shit that I know kids are gonna climb on.
Yeah.
And like
There's a
how
lot.
cool it looks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, there are gonna be so many kids like climbing all over that, touching everything and banging on stuff and
Yeah.
pushing buttons. You have to make Disneyland idiot proof,
Yes.
Yeah.
but not look like it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I really admired how they did that.
You have to hide your idiot proofing.
Right.
Exactly.
Which is going to be interesting because the cantina sells alcohol.
Did anyone? I did not get into the cantina.
I couldn't get in.
I didn't get any.
Oh
They
my
cut off the
God.
line twice in front of us.
Like-
It wasn't. I don't even know if it was open.
I'm really disappointed because I read reviews. You have enough time to do everything you want in 4 hours. Not if you cut
Not
off
if
the
you-
cantina line.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
standing in line for.
We went back
half
3 or
the
4
time.
times,
Yeah.
and actually, I won't lie, we got in, but it moved halfway in 45 minutes.
Jeez.
And I said, screw this, and we hadn't ridden the Falcon at that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
no,
like, I
Falcon's
can't do
more
this.
important.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it
going to
is.
stand in line for another 45 minutes and then have 45 minutes in. That's 3 hours on
Yeah.
just the cantina.
Yeah, no.
I
way.
ditched the line
Yeah,
and
'cause I
went
think-
to the
Aren't
Falcon.
they like giving you a time
You
limit
can
too?
be in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I
but
didn't even.
there's
I didn't even get
no-
to go in at all.
We moved half
That
of
line
the line
was
in
so
45
slow,
minutes.
yeah.
It's so slow.
Yeah.
I
Because
couldn't risk
everyone's
it.
milking that 45-minute window. They're sitting in there for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like, the drinks are good, but they're all pre-made. They
Yeah.
just pour them out in jugs. They don't actually mix it, which makes it faster. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I don't need a bar and a disco party. I'm at Disneyland. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ride a
Yeah. There's
ride.
that too. Yeah.
I mean, I do enjoy anytime they do a disco party at Disneyland. When
Yeah,
they did
the Tron
one,
stuff?
I went to that
Awesome.
thing so many times. The Alice in Wonderland Mad Tea Party.
Oh,
at
that
the
was so much
California
fun.
Adventure.
it's
And the
only
band?
how
With the band,
The cover
sweet
band?
cover band,
They're
and then the
Yeah.
Tron rave before that.
Mhm.
I remember seeing a sweet 80s cover band when I was in high school at what now is the like the stage where they used to do the Jedi show.
The Padawan show?
The Padawan
Yeah.
show. Do they still do that there?
No.
Not right now because it's open, but they
Yeah.
used to very
Are they moving
shortly.
it? Are they going to put it on the other?
No, they can't, because there can't be Jedi over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
You gotta keep it on the down low, bro.
And I know, like, that a lot of times Disneyland will introduce something and they'll be like, look at this super cool thing. And then you have to be extra careful because that really cool thing is going to get ruined because something will happen. And then they'll be like, and now we have a sign here.
Yeah.
And now we have a counter on here.
Yeah.
And the Disney businessiness starts
Well, they got to save their butts. So it's like, go now
Come
while
in.
it's still on the low.
Before someone screwed it up.
Before people are too
Falling
stupid
off
to
the
figure it
Falcon or
out.
something.
I can't imagine how crowded it's going to be
Oh,
once
it's
the
gonna be-
reservations
yeah.
lift.
So that's
It's gonna
why
be madness.
originally I didn't want to go for the first 6 months. And everybody's like, what? Why not? I'm like, I don't want to be
dude,
around
I
all
was-
those friggin' people.
Oh no!
I was
I
like-
wanted to go opening day. In my brain, I'm like, I'm going opening day. If I don't, I'm gonna cry for 2 months.
Yeah.
It has to be opening day. I don't care.
Oh,
It's second
man.
day, opening day. I had to go.
If I didn't get to go with my dad, I probably wouldn't have seen this until it was like 5 years.
Yeah.
Until it died down enough where I was
People
like,
would have been like, oh yeah, this used to be based on the Last Jedi, and now it's based on
exactly.
Whatever.
what's his
it is
name's
now.
Ryan's trilogy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is that still alive? I thought that was dead.
Supposedly it is. I guess the next
What?
trilogy's
What?
coming out.
what are you talking about?
So there's 2 trilogies, new trilogies that were announced. One of them is Ryan Johnson's.
My favorite director ever. That's really
Ryan Johnson, who
Rian
directed the Last
Johnson?
Jedi.
Who directed Looper?
Rian.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's the guy.
Yep, that
Brothers
guy.
Bloom. I'm literally looking at a Brothers Bloom poster right now in my
Oh,
office.
that's what that. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Brick was his first movie. Brothers Bloom was his second.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
He's not very well loved in the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I loved Looper. I thought it was
I was
great.
awesome.
too.
That was good.
And a lot of people hate Last Jedi. I don't hate Last Jedi, but it's definitely my
How
least
can you
favorite.
hate it?
of
It's the
all
exact
Star Wars movies.
same as the.
Because it's missing a few key elements
Yeah.
that would make it make sense.
It was a lot of not well put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I've
wonder
gone
how
into
much
this.
of that is Disney's hands.
We've gone into this a few times
Yeah.
in the podcast.
Yeah. So
But the gist of it is.
what happened was what had happened was they were writing the script for The Force Awakens up until like the week before filming.
Holy moly.
So Ryan Johnson's trying to write his script based on the story and the script from before, but they keep changing it.
Yeah.
So that's why Luke Skywalker was supposed to be in Force Awakens like right off the bat. In fact, we saw him at a podcast taping.
Yeah, we went to
Like a year and a half
Talking Tunes
before.
with Rob Paulson back before
Yeah.
he joined Nerdist.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
he
why-
started
Mark
working
Hamill
out.
was there.
And he was like, I started working out for this movie, and I'm growing a beard for this movie.
And that's why
I'm-
the original preview trailer was so radically different than
Yeah.
anything of
Exactly,
the movie.
yeah. So they kept changing stuff while Ryan Johnson's trying to write his movie,
Yeah.
and then it just ended up not flowing too well, and
Yeah.
You
But I
know,
don't
the
feel like
next
that's
one will be a
Ryan's.
lot of
I don't feel
retcon
like
to
that's
fix it.
Ryan's fault.
It can't be all his fault.
No.
There were
There's too many cooks in that
producers
kitchen.
way
I
above
know.
It's
him.
Kathleen
Yeah.
Kennedy's fault.
It's anyone. It's everyone's fault.
Yeah.
And I really like blaming Kathleen Kennedy.
But I really like him as a director, and I'm
Oh, he's
excited
great,
that
yeah.
he gets his own.
And did you
show.
see the behind the scenes documentary, like the hour and a half when they did?
No, I
Oh, it
didn't.
is so good, and
You're a
he's
bigger geek than me.
oh yeah, I'm all about it. That's why I still buy my DVDs and stuff, because like I want the behind the scenes stuff.
Thank God somebody's still doing it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have Blue Velvet or whatever it was. Ultraviolet shut down, and then I don't own any of the movies I thought I owned.
Did it shut down?
Oh, yeah,
Ultraviolet,
went out of
the
business.
movie with Mila Jovovich.
No.
No,
I forgot that was a
if
thing.
you own a,
That
if you
was a
own a
movie.
movie
She was a
digitally, it's
vampire in
streaming
that.
type thing, and you like have the movie or whatever, like if that company goes out of business, they don't have to make sure you have a copy. So you could lose a lot of your digital copies of things.
I don't know if I even buy digital copies. I buy
Why would you?
everything on streaming.
Yeah,
No.
I just stream everything.
Yeah,
I mean, I have
streaming.
DVDs of all the things, all the
I'll
things
do
that
it.
I watch over and over again. And
That's me with
if the
video
world
games, too.
dies and I don't have internet and I just have a DVD player, I got those. But I mean, I don't need my entire collection.
Yeah.
I used to work at a Blockbuster Video.
Oh.
I used to manage a Blockbuster Video.
No way.
Back in the day.
That's why you
Yeah.
like Captain Marvel so much.
Dude, so I used to get 5 movies a week
Holy
as
crap.
a manager at Blockbuster.
Dang.
So, and this is
you
like,
did make a
Yeah.
collection.
wait, well, you get to rent 5 movies a week.
Oh, okay.
But my dad had a DVD burner.
Oh yeah.
And I was still living with my dad. So I rented the movies and then returned them, and then suddenly,
You had
You had a DVD collection.
inexplicably,
What?
we had a huge amount of DVDs.
Weird.
magic. Just pure
It just
happenstance.
happened.
It's a Blockbuster
and
magic.
you know, when I moved out from there, I didn't take them. So my dad just has like this epic collection of really bad, burned.
Yeah.
Like the movies are bad. Like the DVDs are fine.
Yeah.
The movies are bad.
Yeah.
Because I was just like renting everything that came out.
Everything.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's terrible. If you want B horror movies, I have like literally all of them from 2000 to like 2004.
Nice.
Not how
cool.
long
So
I
that
worked
was
there, by the way.
We gotta
So that was
wrap it up.
basically my experience over there. Food was good.
Food was good.
Doc Ondar's was amazing. Ride was awesome. I'll get to the cantina eventually. Get to the lightsabers.
I know, it's so funny. All we did was the ride. We didn't do any of the other experiences there.
What are the other?
The lightsabers, the droids, and the cantina and the ride are like the four main selling points.
And actually being there.
And actually being there.
Yeah.
I think just walking around is like just as much of an experience. Like you don't need to spend $200 on a lightsaber to enjoy Star Wars.
At a,
Not at all.
at a park that the biggest complaint is the lines are too long, you have to make just being there enough.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it
Because
is.
otherwise people will, and if they've accomplished that, then they've just solved one of their big complaints. Like,
And Doc Ondar should be higher up on that list. That was amazing.
That was so good. His
being there.
animatronic was so cool.
Yes.
Like,
That has a name. That slug thing has a name. I don't
it's
know what it
Ithorian.
is. Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's
okay.
an Ithorian. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But-
really cool.
Yeah.
I can't judge.
And apparently you can like barter with them, sort of, where you
Yes.
through
the cast member
cast
goes
member.
up to them and is like, "Is 200 okay instead of 250?"
And it's always a no.
he'll give a response.
Yeah.
But I can't judge because I wasn't in the cantina. But I feel like Doc Ondar's might be better than
Oh,
the cantina.
yeah. I'm
I
I can't say that.
Yeah, we haven't seen
but-
the cantina, but
Yeah.
just the road.
It's
I
DJ
think I
Rex.
went through.
oh yeah, it's Rex.
Captain Rex, but he
Yeah.
retired and he's DJ now.
Well, because he's also in parts in Star Tours.
Oh
he was in parts.
So-
He's
Yeah.
like quite Captain Rex. Sometimes to see his
Right.
Well, it
Parts,
was. It
but
was
it's
his
Paul
first flight.
Rubens.
It's
Since
fine.
Paul Rubens came back and voiced him
Paul
again.
Rubens came back and voiced him for Rebels, and now he's back voicing him
Yeah.
as a DJ as he was reprogrammed to be a DJ.
That's cool.
So cool.
That's super cool.
I'll see you eventually with a couple of drinks in my hand.
Yeah, see, and in
And
that
I would
regard, I
have
want to see
definitely
DJ
bought
Rex.
drinks if we could have got in
In
there.
that.
And
And it's a cool. Pictures. The drinks look great. It's
Yeah.
a cool space. I just couldn't
it's too
put
small.
3
Couldn't
hours
justify,
to it.
yeah,
In my
no.
Do you
4-hour
think that it
time
would have been
slot, I
better
couldn't
if
do
they
it.
made it bigger, or is it the intimacy of it that makes it?
Could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I honestly
both.
think you didn't need 45 minutes in there. They could have
Rush people
rushed
out.
people out.
Maybe they'll decrease the limit with the amount of traffic or
Yeah.
something.
Maybe. Yeah.
Only because, especially if I made reservations hoping to do everything before the general public gets in, I wanted to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I
Do you-
wasn't able
do you
to.
Do you have to make a reservation for the cantina?
No, you just had to get in line, and it was capped every time I
They
went
should
to
do
look.
it with a reservation, like on the app.
Yeah.
Reservation
That'd be
system. So,
smart.
like, you know that there's a speakeasy, like the Blind Rabbit in Anaheim in the packing house?
Is there?
Is there? I don't know this.
Well, we should
Oh.
all go.
We should.
We do, we
You
do.
He hasn't been to the
You
packing
can
house
only
yet.
fit in like 10 people in there at one time, so it's very small.
Yeah.
And it's very hidden, and you have to make a reservation ahead of time because you can't just go into it. And they only allow you to be there for like, I think a max like an hour or an hour and a half
Okay.
or something. And it's just cocktails and like little snackies and stuff. But it's really fantastic. It's very small.
Yeah.
But I figured if the cantina is something similar to that, then maybe they'll come up with something on the app where you can make your reservation. You have to be there 5 minutes before your reservation. You can only go in for so long. And that would keep the line down.
Yeah.
But maybe they have too many.
I don't know, because they're not mixing the drinks. It's not like it takes time for
Yeah,
you to get your
they're just
order.
pouring it.
It's just you experiencing the cantina and drinking your drink. And honestly, maybe if I was there, 45 minutes would have been great.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, and I wanted to. So
Yeah.
I would have said 30, 25 minutes.
And that's
Get
not
those
even.
people out of
Yeah,
there. Let
yeah.
new people in.
And that's with like, what do you think? Maybe a third of
Oh,
the
I
amount
think
of people.
less. I think you're not even going to be
Like-
able to walk through it when it gets open.
Yeah. I think maybe people will be overwhelmed by the crowds though, and it will like police itself and fit
It's
itself
possible.
out.
Like that.
possible.
Well, especially in the
people will
summertime.
go-
Sometimes it can be rough because Disneyland in
gonna
the
be
summertime's
so-
rough anyway.
And
Yeah.
it feels like it's going to be a hot area.
Yeah,
so.
totally.
Mhm.
I mean, that's where Splash Mountain was, and
That
the
area.
Country Bear, and that's
Yeah.
like it was
warm.
roasting.
Yeah.
They had some
Humid.
good trees and foliage and stuff, but it didn't seem like there was a ton of
There
shade.
was
It
no
didn't.
shade.
No, and like I said, I was there when it rained, and like
No shade.
there was no covering. There was a little bit of covering where the Ronto Roasters was.
Yeah.
But that
the
was
Roasters is cool. It's a cool design.
Yeah.
I
Cooking the
really
meat
dig
with
going
a
around the
pod racing
thing
engine.
and like
Yeah.
Genius.
And the
Okay.
robot
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
cool.
And the girl in line will talk to the robot, and they'll interact a little bit.
That's cool.
That's
She was the one that was giving us crap about Homeboy's shirt.
See, that's really neat.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that come in that work at Disneyland, and they come in, before or after their shift in their costumes, and so we've been kind of geeking out over it in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. All right, well, Bryan, what are you reading right now?
I'm doing the audiobook for Master and Apprentice, the Star Wars book, and it's about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
Ooh, I love me some Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's like 14, 15. No, he's 17 in the book. But it's all about how him and Qui-Gon butted heads and they couldn't get on the same level as they were on Phantom Menace. Where
in sync.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool seeing that, and then it also flashes back to Qui-Gon and Count Dooku when Dooku was training him.
Dooku trained Qui-Gon?
Yeah, he didn't know that either.
Wow,
Yeah.
but when did Dooku go bad?
In between, or no, just before Phantom Menace. So he left the Jedi Order
Is that explained
around
in the book?
a little bit.
Okay, because I never.
There's also a new audiobook that came out about Count Dooku going to the dark side and his whole path.
There's a Dooku book, and actually,
It's only an audio drama.
It's only audio, and it's a drama, so it's actually a full cast.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what I got to do. Besides all these comics that I buy over here.
Right. What about you?
Nice.
Glynnes, you reading anything right now?
Oh, I'm always reading stuff. As far as Star Wars titles, just The Galaxy's Edge, and trying to get caught up on
I'm
that.
gonna pick that up on my way out. It's so
Hell yeah.
cool.
Do it. You can see what I'm reading if you watch the weekly What's Up and the picks of the week on our YouTube channel, which
You mean on our Instagram channel?
on our Instagram channel, which Bryce is actually the wonderful brains behind and camera behind. So check that out.
Thanks.
Yeah. What are you reading these days, Alex? Anything? What geeky stuff are you into right now?
I don't read books or
Right on.
comic books.
You're making
be honest.
me cry.
All right.
I'm so
Do
sorry.
you watch? Do you
Like,
listen? Do you?
I do. Actually, I've read, I've actually friggin'
Saga.
Saga.
Yes.
It's one of the only things
They're
I
coming back
have
from
read.
break.
It's been so long. It's been like 4 years, 2 years. I don't know. So long. Feels like forever.
It's been a year and it's been way too long.
My boyfriend loves comics. He reads them. He knows everything.
Mhm.
And
Do I know him? He should come in here.
Give me the poll.
But I don't even read books. I'm just not a reader person.
Yeah.
But
What are you watching these days?
I love movies.
Ooh.
Well, clearly, I'm rewatching Star Wars because Galaxy's Edge just got me all this nostalgia.
It did really make me, when I was there.
We rewatched Solo and we started the whole saga.
Dude,
I'll
that's
rewatch
exactly
Solo.
what I wanted to do.
I'm rewatching Clone Wars right now, and I really want to play Knights of the Old Republic again.
Oh, dude.
It was
Okay,
on his
so
to-do list. Like, you went to
Literally, yeah.
The Old Republic was in the middle.
Yep.
KOTOR is probably one of my favorite.
That's my all-time
Video
favorite video
games.
game. Yeah.
It is by far one of the best RPGs ever made.
I honestly, I don't play a lot of video games, and my brother got me into playing KOTOR when we had an Xbox a million years ago, and it still holds up. It's really,
totally.
really fun
Yeah.
and
I played it for
super
the first
cool.
time, 4 years ago?
If that wasn't that long.
It was...
But I did really want to rewatch all the Star Wars movies being there.
It's
so
exactly
starting
what I
with
wanted
Solo,
to do.
because I was like, man, did I miss stuff in that movie
It
that I
felt
should
like
have?
the same kind of vibe for some reason.
Definitely.
And it just made me want to watch Solo.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
That's why I was thinking, the marketplace, something about it made me feel like,
The one at the beginning when he's trying to...
there's
Because
something
it's
here.
supposed to be the new movies, the new trilogy,
Yeah.
whatever those are called now. But it gave me a Solo vibe.
Yeah, it definitely did too. That's why I was kind of asking about it.
Which I love that movie.
Brian, you said we got distracted.
Oh,
Ryan's getting
so
3
Rian
movies?
Johnson's doing a trilogy of movies. We don't know much about it, and
we
then
don't know who the characters are
nothing.
or what's going on.
It's non-
We don't know what.
Skywalker
It's
story.
not. Yeah. So
Okay.
any movies going forward is going to be non-Skywalker story status.
he's
Rumor is it's Knights of the Old Republic.
So that's going to be
That's
possibly
cool.
the guys that did Game of Thrones.
Holy moly!
They're
Their
doing a
trilogy.
trilogy, and that could be the Knights of the Republic.
They're giving the Game of Thrones guys
Mhm.
their own trilogy.
You
Which
know what?
I'm
I say
excited
the
about.
same thing about Ryan, to be honest.
Dude, I'm into
So-
it. I'm
Yeah.
super into it. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's a great choice.
Everybody's like, really? Oh, they're going to make it suck? Like, no.
No.
they're going to make it
They
great.
don't-
Just tell them that they have to do it at the length of time we agreed upon in the beginning.
Well, no, they'll have a pretty much full reign to do what they want within the galaxy, as opposed to Game of Thrones, where they had so much specific
Source
material, and then it just stopping, and then having just basic ideas of what's
Game of
going to
Thrones
go on.
basically did to the Game of Thrones community what almost every anime based on a manga ever did.
Yeah.
Was halfway through the season they went, oh shit, we don't have any more manga to reference. We have to make this up. And that's how you get things like Full Metal Alchemist and Trigun, which both have terrible endings because the people making the anime didn't know where the story was supposed to go
I
exactly.
mean, we can
So
have a whole nother
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's-
about what we feel about Game of Thrones.
But
I'm excited that they're getting their own trilogy.
Right, yeah. And they're obviously big fans, and they can write a good story and take source material and, like, do great things with it. But now they have Star Wars source material, which is fairly open-ended anyways.
True.
Always.
And so, yeah. And plus, if they're being guided by the story group who's been on their point lately, like, Dave Filoni's involved, they'll be
If
fine.
Dave Filoni's involved, they're fine.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the other Star Wars trilogy that's coming out.
Exciting.
Yeah, so we have 2 Star Wars trilogies, new ones. Not Skywalker Saga, but yeah.
Man, they're just going to milk this whole universe.
We have the
for, like,
Mandalorian TV
Oh, the Mandalorian!
they're
So
giving a
excited.
Mandalorian
Yeah.
TV show?
Yes! On their streaming service is going to be their one of their
The one
original
that's
shows.
like
What
flagship,
timeline?
5 years after Return of the Jedi, Jon Favreau wrote it and produced it.
Right over at Long Beach.
Yeah, right. They filmed right up the
love
road.
him.
But
He goes to my friend's restaurant.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we should go hang out there and just wait.
We should totally do that. He's trying to get Wes to open up a shop somewhere. I think in like Japan or something. I don't know.
I think the helmet and the gun
So
from
that's the-
Mandalorian
yeah.
was in
I
Doc
think so.
Ock.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure, I
So they're in
remember
there,
seeing
and but yeah, so Mandalorian's all going to be basically practical effects. I was like,
Yeah, a lot of practical effects, which will be on the last 2 episodes. We'll talk about it a little bit. Of our podcast, we talked about it, or rather, the last point 2 and point 4 or whatever. But a lot of practical effects, including the ship flying at the camera and things like that.
They made models.
ILM,
I love
these guys went home and went
So
to
yeah,
town in their
there's a really cool
garages.
panel they did at Celebration that like broke everything down. They showed behind the scenes stuff and a trailer and like
And
a
back in
full
Game of
scene.
Thrones,
It
the
was-
guy playing the Mandalorian is the guy who played Oberon.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Super cool.
Yeah. What are you reading right now, Bryce? Or watching?
I just
Wait, we didn't get to
Yeah, what are
finish
you
yours
watching?
yet. Hold on, sorry.
Star Wars is all I ever
Oh, okay.
watch.
Okay. Have you seen any good movies lately into theaters?
Oh, what did we just see?
See Godzilla yet?
Oh, no, I haven't.
It's so good. Okay, good.
I'm
Sorry.
super excited to see Godzilla. X-Men's coming out this weekend.
Yeah, we're going tomorrow.
Yeah.
We are.
I just saw Detective Pikachu.
That was so much fun.
So
Fun. What did we just see? Oh my gosh, it's blanking.
Brightburn.
No, I haven't seen that
I
yet.
want to see that too.
Aladdin.
Yep,
Was Aladdin?
Aladdin?
it was Aladdin.
Oh, Red.
It was Aladdin. That's what I expected.
Of course, it was a Disney movie. I should have known.
Honestly, I cried when I saw Beauty and the Beast in the theater.
Mhm.
I took at the time I had 2 female employees I was really close with, and it was instant tears, like the opening scene, like
Oh wow, I still haven't seen.
Quiet Village. I was just like, this is my childhood, and
Yeah.
they made it real, and it's Hermione. Ah! Like I just lost my shit
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Because it was,
I don't think I've seen a whole lot of the live action stuff.
I saw
There's
parts
three.
of Beauty and the
There's-
Beast. I wasn't in love with
Cinderella.
it, but like
Cinderella, I really liked. Beauty and the Beast, I liked.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book was
Jungle Book, I really liked.
I dug it.
I really liked it.
I did not see Jungle Book. I did see Mowgli though.
I thought it was
Oh,
interesting that
With
they
Andy
had
Serkis's team.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit was crazy.
Oh yeah.
But
I feel like it's interesting to have a live action in big quotes movie that's all CGI.
The Lion King is not live action, it's CG.
Right.
If anyone tells me that's a live action movie, I say no.
Because they're
But
not
it is
using
in the
actual
same
animals.
CG live action
It is
ish.
They're not using
CG.
any live animals, so
No.
it's
It's
an
not.
animated
It's an
movie, but it's
animated
made to
movie.
look like it's real.
Yeah.
But they're calling it live action. Like I can't.
Yeah.
It's not live
Semantics.
action.
Did they film like on location?
No.
No.
is everything CG? Are the rocks and the trees CG? Because that could be
Because
live
like some of the
action.
trailers
That's
look
it,
like
then it's
they
kinda
were
live
filmed
action.
like.
But I can't tell. I can't tell. I would love to.
Yeah.
I absolutely love. Before I opened the comic book shop, I wanted to do behavioral studies for exotic animals, and so it
Like
was
say like a Lion King show.
Fun.
Well, I was working at a exotic animal rescue center, and I
Oh.
was working on being a person that wrangles and does training for exotic animals
Wow.
that would do things like have lions and tigers in movies.
Yeah.
And part of that is really, really cool and interesting and totally boss, and you can get animals to perform just like people.
Yeah.
But another part of that is how I would love to see how much is real life animals and like where they did. Like how they got
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
how
CG.
they
Because you know when they
meshed it
CG
in.
people and they have all the sensors all over their faces
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything. Like
It's kind
it
of hard
would
to
be,
do that with animals.
right. So it's like where are they getting it from motion capture?
I mean, they've
like,
been watching animals to decide how they want to animate things for decades.
Oh yeah. But I would be interested to see exactly what they're doing for Lion King, how they're because it comes from a place of animation, right? Which comes from a fanciful idea.
I don't know if it's true, but I think they did what Benedict Cumberbatch did for Smog.
Okay.
Like they mocapped him as a person and mapped it onto an
which
animal.
is what they did for the apes in Planet of the Apes with Andy Serkis as well.
So I think they might be doing that, but like, is that still live action? I don't consider that to be live action.
I don't think that the term should be or could be live action, but I think that it's just a big old double dip.
It's a new anime.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's a new thing.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Aladdin's great.
Yeah,
Aladdin was brilliant.
I feel like if they're gonna make a CGI genie, why couldn't they just keep it Robin Williams and just CG?
The voice would have been...
No, use his dialogue from the original.
Can't. There's a very strict contract that says that can't happen.
Oh, really?
And you know what's weird?
Which they somewhat violated here and there.
Is I listen to Disney music on like Google Play, and Robin Williams' Genie song is no longer in the soundtrack of the original Aladdin.
What?
They took that song off.
Really?
Yeah. I was very upset.
That is really upsetting.
It's really weird, but after he died, that his Genie song is no longer on my Google Play.
Maybe that was in a contract.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some weird thing, but I noticed that, and it was really weird. And I think that's why they had to do a total spin on him and not do him anything
So they
like
don't.
Robin
They don't do the Genie song.
No, they do, but it's Will Smith kind of almost rap talking.
Yeah.
It's
does he go woo? Ha ha ha.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But some of the words are changed, and he's not really singing. He's kind of talk rapping.
Yeah,
He's Fresh Printing it.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
It was. I think he
I'm
did a
seeing
great
Will
job.
Smith play the genie. I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, it was not Robin Williams' Genie. It was Will Smith's
That's
Genie,
good.
which was still very entertaining.
And frankly, what I would rather have than somebody
Costumes are
trying
cool,
to
sets
just
are
do
cool.
that again.
Yeah.
Yes, costumes are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
And the sets looked very
And you would
pretty.
be an expert on that.
Yes. I noticed costumes above all else.
Yeah, that figures.
Yeah. Cool. Bryce, what are you reading, watching?
I started listening to the Thrawn book, the Thrawn audiobook, and I'm freaking loving it. Mark Thompson does a fantastic Thrawn.
As always.
And I really, really have been enjoying, and I just picked it up today. It's fantastic. Image has a new book out called Thumbs, and it's pretty, and, well, it's not even pretty, it's gritty, but, like, the art is really good, the paneling is fantastic, the writing is solid, and the story is just... Like, I came back, because Glynnes, like, handed it to me and was like, we're doing this for Picks of the Week, go read it real quick so we know what we're talking about. And I went to go read it, and I came back and I went, fuck yes, pardon my language. But I was just like, this is so good, I'm in. I'm so in for this. So I've been doing that, and then, Star Wars Wise, it was just Thrawn. Yeah, so that's Galaxy's Edge and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You can find our Instagrams in various places. At Comic Book Hideout is where you can find all things Glynnes, and that's where you can see all of the terrible things that I do to her in video form, like Crazy Glynnes' Comic Emporium.
Wait, hold on.
Let's. We're gonna keep that. We're keeping that.
All the crazy, absurd edits that I put out to make Glynnes look like a total jackass.
It's not hard.
Alex, where can we find you on the internets?
Acceleration Designs, spelled AX Acceleration Designs.
And is that for your Instagram? That's for your YouTube? That's for all the things?
All the things.
You managed to
pretty
get the
much.
same tag for all of your Brandons?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right?
Good
When
work.
you spell
Impressive.
things a little weirdly, no one else catches it.
It's
It's the
fair.
secret.
That's true. And then ours, of course, is at Sneaky Geek Podcast on Instagram. And if you're going anywhere else for us, why?
Yeah, we were listening for
Why? We don't do anything on YouTube.
We
We're on
have them all.
SoundCloud,
Yeah.
which is how you're listening to us right now, even if you're listening to us on Apple Music. But
it's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that is a whole other podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So this has been fantastic.
Yeah,
guys.
thanks
Thank
for
you so
joining
much
us,
for hanging
ladies.
out.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
I hang out with these boys all the time, so whatever.
Sucker.
Thank you.